Hello, folks on the internet, and welcome to another installment of Spooky Saturdays, a just chatting show where me and my friends talk about spooky stuff on the internet. So whether you're here with us live on Twitch, or you're watching the VOD here or on YouTube at a later time, super excited that you're here. Today we're hanging out with Combatdude. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm alright. You?
Oh, I've been awake for hours, obviously. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Define how long's hours? Must ask.
I have no concept of time, canonically,
No. Oh, you're
so
you're a time wizard now. I see.
yes. Quote, hours. Yes.
Hours.
Uh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Literal seconds.
Listen,
Not even
I've
dressed.
firstly, I work from home, so I can live in PJs as long as they're professional PJs.
Mm.
Little ducks on them.
Yeah, this isn't working right.
Bean broth has been dranketh. Exactly, Thrall. Exactly. So you're actually you're playing an SCP
I'm
game right
trying.
now.
This. I have to agree in my chat right now. This is a heinous idea. This is not smart in any degree. At all. I
I
can't.
believe in you.
Oh, stuff's happening all the time. But
So
yeah,
Combatdude is a Twitch content creator, uh variety streamer, and
bum.
I'm gonna do a shout out because I'm so cool. Um
Oh, thanks. You're too
Let me
kind.
remember how to spell, and then why do we keep writing Comball is not a word?
Come on.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah,
Oh
I'm good
no.
at words.
Right.
Boom, I did it. Yeah,
Nice.
so you're
Good work.
playing right
I'm
now. You're
proud.
playing right this moment. SCP Secret Laboratory, which is actually such a great tie-in to
Mm,
today's episode. Because we had a fan request SCP stories for us to talk about it on an episode. So I immediately was like, Combat Dude plays this game with his community. I must get Combat Dude
yeah.
in here. Uh,
And you said, "Oh yeah, let's pick this date exactly the same day." I was gonna go SCP. And
you're like,
okay,
well, that works.
let's do it. Let's give it a go. And then
Kismet.
and then work happened. I'm like, okay, just throw things to the wall. Let's just try.
Yeah, it's gonna
Sugar,
be
let's go.
let's go exactly. Um,
Yeah. Oh god,
it's
it's
like an
mad.
SCP info episode that's taking place during an SCP outbreak. Yes,
Mm.
that's precisely what's happening.
Oh, actually, you
Uh,
know what would be a even smarter idea? If I got docs up, I can actually see your chat as well. 'Cause who wouldn't do that? Honestly. I mean, I totally have your stream up as well, right? Yeah, 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 yeah,
it's a
yeah. Sorry, bit of phlegm. Hang on.
no worries.
I've got to copy and paste, and I still messed it up.
Listen, I understand completely the Control C Control V. When you're trying to get stuff off of Twitch, I firsthand can tell you that sometimes that shit's a nightmare. And then you're like, why did it copy this other stuff? I wasn't even selecting that. What's happening?
I just saw your screen. I had it like 2 frames before the advert. I didn't see that stupid ass picture I gave you.
listen, listen. If you thought I wasn't going to use this photo, you were dead
Oh,
wrong.
oh no.
Ugh,
Oh, my face.
you look beautiful.
Ramel. I just got attacked. Oh no. Right, I can see your. I think I can see your chat. No, it's still being silly. Apply.
It,
Can I?
it's
Can I?
it's
Oh
gonna
no.
be great. People are gonna get in the comments. Usually they
Oh
trickle in.
no.
Um, so yeah, typically how Spooky Saturdays works is that we just have like a little chat. We share some stories, info, just kind
Okay.
of
Okay.
talk, and we just live react to info. It's like you and I are having an actual conversation where I
I'll.
proceed to talk
Yeah.
shit and you can
Totally.
talk shit, and it's a great time.
Yeah, it'd go super well. Okay. Oh god, this. Okay, that's what. Oh yeah. So how's it go?
Oh,
What's the plan? Tell me more.
whew. So yeah, basically we're just, we're gonna talk about today's topic, which is SCPs. And
Mhm. Mhm.
for those of you who don't know, uh, the SCP Foundation it's a fictional secret organization, and it's
Yes.
documented creative collaborative writing project where everybody sort of these different people will create stories that then become canon in that lore.
Yes.
Um, basically, the foundation, quote unquote, is responsible for capturing and containing various, paranormal, supernatural, mysterious phenomenon, documenting it, um,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
and then at the same time, keeping their existence hidden from the rest of human society. So it's a website, it's a real world website where people they make stories about certain SCPs, they get allocated a name, and then they're put into little genres. And you can go on the wiki right now, actually.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like
Because I totally wasn't there earlier this today at all. Period.
it's
No. No.
super
No.
it's crazy because it's been around for
Oh,
like
years. Because I remember
almost
watching videos from an undisclosed channel, which
oh, is it the infographics channel?
no,
Oh.
it's a big time YouTuber, and
Oh.
I mean, I don't want to say their name because, like, I don't want to throw uh, attention other places other than yourself and
Oh.
myself,
Oh,
and come visit me, by the way. No,
yeah. Well, no, I shouted you out. That was actually I got distracted because I'm cute. If you
yeah, yeah,
guys
I could, yeah,
if you're not already following Combatdude, uh, the
yeah,
link is in chat. Why aren't you? You should just do it. It's a fun time.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
been in many a Combatdude's chat during his streams. It's always a great time. I loved when you played Cult of a Lamb. I was on mobile, so I couldn't be a cult member, but
Yeah,
yeah, the Twitch
ugh,
integration with mobile never works.
no,
Never heard of them.
no, yeah, no, it's just a pain. Never heard of it. Thanks, zombie. Uh, you son of a gun. Yeah, so SCP, really interesting stuff. There's lots and lots and lots of stuff documented.
Yeah, I
Well,
think it
quote unquote
started on
documented.
I want to say it started on not Reddit. I think it was 4chan way
Really?
back in the
Okay, no.
day. That's where they started before they got decided to just get their own domain and wiki set up.
Mm,
But
yeah.
it's been a while.
Oh yeah, it's been a fair while. So the YouTube channel I watched played a version like one of the off brands that say that's not on Steam versions of the game, and
Mhm.
like he keeps revisiting it, so on and so forth. And that was a fair old while ago. And yeah, and it's been updated. There's been more and more entries put in because at that point I think there was only 1,000 entries, if that. And there's at least now, if I look on the actual
I think
Wikipedia,
they're up to like 3 or
9,000.
4,000, 9,000. Damn. Okay.
9,000
That's a lot
entries.
of We're not going to go through each one individually. That's
No, we are
crazy.
not. I was going, yeah, let's do some research. Looked at the list. No, 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 no,
We don't have time to go over all
no.
of them, but figured we'd kind of like get a baseline for what's going on. You actually might know about, I guess there's like a specific rating system where they're either Keter or Euclid.
Yes, so there's safety rating. So safe is literally as the name suggests, it's safe. It's not going to
It's not
like they're
gonna
not going to
murder
murder you.
you.
It's not going to murder you or destroy you or do any harm to whatsoever to you. And then like it starts going up certain stages. I can't remember which order it is. I think it's Cater, Euclid, and something else. Um, And if for those people of anime fans who watch One Punch Man, it's basically the same sort of category system where it goes harm to a human life, harm to several, harm to a large body of people, the end of the earth sort of situation.
Cool, cool, cool. Just your
Um,
standard.
yeah, yeah, just a standard grading system. Um, and So a lot of the SCPs that they do contain are I don't know why they contain them opposed to annihilate them because I know some of them they physically can't.
Yeah,
Like
there's
what?
one that's like a crazy lizard, like
Yeah,
furry lizard with like its ribs out.
yeah.
Like
So
they
because
can't.
I
There's
will.
like literally no way, and they've tried everything.
Yeah, it literally will not die. It's impossible to kill it because it regenerates faster than like anything else, and it always survives. It's such a pain in the butt. I think that was SCP. No, not that one. Not that one. I'd know this off the top of my head. Chat, legit. Ah, there you go. SCP-682. Just thinged right there. Um, the lizard that they have to kill. Basically. So, from my understanding, is that they contain this lizard in a giant vat of acid. I think it's like sulfuric acid or something like that to constantly basically dissolve its body. But in exchange, the lizard is also absorbing the acid to regenerate its body. So it's in just a constant state of pain.
That
And
sucks, dude.
yeah, it also has some form of intelligence because it can communicate. Um, but other than that, it just keeps regrowing, absorbing, expanding. It's literally unkillable. You can't kill it. They've tried. Like,
They've yeah,
um,
I watched a I watched there's this thing. Um, you ever see those like videos where like it's animated, but it's like almost like not static, but like very like small movement animation, and they
yeah,
don't have fingers and they don't have like facial features. They're just kind of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Very, very basic shapes and stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
which
I've
I
seen them.
love.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Like my crow brain's like I can accept this. Yes.
Mm,
So there's a this thing that does it covers this channel covers a lot of different things, and they do
mm.
SCPs. So like, you ever just like put on YouTube and just kind of like zone out and
Yeah,
let your
yeah,
YouTube algorithm figure itself out while you're like disassociating, and then
yeah.
like you
I've
snap
done
back and
that.
you're like, why am I watching this cute little animation about like terrible serial killers? What happened to my life?
Yeah,
Um,
right.
that's
I
actually how
mean,
I
it's better
found
than the
this.
old days. I don't know if you know of the old days. The old days was you watched YouTube and then the algorithm would inevitably put you into spot popping videos every time.
Oh, I never had that. I always like would have YouTube on in the background when I was like supposed to be doing like a research paper at uni or something, and then uh inevitably I would end up like paying back attention to YouTube after like a few hours, and I'm like, why am I
Mm.
watching something about like shaky cam video of like we found a mermaid? Like
We found
in a completely
what?
different language, just like we found a mermaid. Like what? Just wild,
That's
wild
a bit,
shit.
yeah. The internet. That's all I got is the internet.
What a beautiful place. What a beautiful place.
Mm.
Everything is real on the internet, of course. And that's actually
Absolutely.
that's kind of the idea. I know we talked a little bit before we started about like Reddit and like the no sleep subreddit. Um but I think like the SCP thing, like it's written in such a way that you're supposed to like suspend your disbelief and like, okay, this is a thing, and the reason we don't actively know about it is because they control like this foundation controls the media, and they use retcon drugs like amnesic drugs. So if you experience this, like, no, you didn't, you don't remember it.
Mm.
But
Never
it's
happened.
yeah, it's just like what happened? That never happened. But yeah, there's different tales about like specific canon within the foundation. Then
Mm.
there's ones about specific anomalies, phenomena. Like there's one that's SCP-3008, which is an IKEA retail store
Yeah, I
that
know that one.
has an infinite interior space with no outer limit, like board. Like you walk in and you end up in a pocket universe, and you
Yeah.
can't get out. And there's two entities within that entity. Dash one is the actual pocket dimension, and Dash two is a tall, faceless humanoid that's wearing IKEA employee uniforms that become aggressively violent, like towards anyone during the nighttime when the lights go out.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because so I remember watching like a a YouTube series where it was basically about this guy who lived in the SCP Foundation. He was an SCP entity himself, but he didn't really realize it. And like they just
Oh.
used him as a D class because his great gift was he could never die. So he would do
Oh.
like all these tasks, die, and then he just respawn basically, which is the most bizarrest way of how not to die. But yeah, it was really fascinating because like he went to the IKEA universe and like there's all of the other people who were stuck in there, and like they made their little tribes of like depending on which like department they lived in. So one of them lived in like the lampshade department, so they became the lampshade tribe. It was so
Lord of
weird.
the Flies, re IKEA. That's
Yeah, it
wild.
was so amazing. Like he kind of put it on standby, and then he has recently picked it back up.
Oh man, you're gonna have to link me that because I need to know
Yeah, I gotta
for
try and find it again.
my own brain. I will want that.
Yeah,
So
I'd have to find that again.
so D class, those are
Uh,
those are people that
right.
that the SCP Foundation would send in. I think aren't they
Yeah.
like criminals or something?
Yeah, they're like convicts and things like that who are basically going to be on death row and things like that. And basically they just put them into the most dangerous situations so that nobody else has to. Um so like it's so most of the SCPs end up in a cell where they're contained in. And sometimes it's not safe to go in there. So instead of putting their valuable people like their scientists or the big boy management, uh, put in death row convicts. Because at the end of the day, they'll die and they can just replace them just like that.
That's on the one hand I see the logic behind it, but that's like deeply unsettling that they're
Yes, it is.
oof, oof,
Yeah. And
oof.
yes, so there is one SCP that does come to mind about how mundane they make the tasks because they have to do it, and that is SCP-173, which everybody loves to know him as Peanut, or I like to call Concrete Boy. Um, there's a bit of a legal hoo-ha over that one, but basically this is still the same thing, which is a like humanoid looking concrete monstrosity with rebar across its body, and it's got like some spray paint on its face, like well on its one of its like tendrils, let's say, that makes it look like a face.
Yeah.
And basically they managed to capture and contain it, and they left it in the cell, and and every here and there they had to clean it up. So they send 3D class personnel in there just to mop the floor. And
Oh.
the reason they mop the floor with like three members of staff, it's only one person's mopping, the other two are watching. Because Peanut is the entity that for any Doctor Who fans out
So
there
it's like
is
a weeping
basic
angel.
like the Weeping Angel. So if you see him, can't move an inch. But if you don't look at him, if nobody's watching SCP 173, totally didn't look that back up. It moves, and it moves at a frightening speed.
So it's
Um,
quantum locked in place while being observed, but once
Something
it's
like that. Yeah,
stopped being observed,
yeah.
it can just do all sorts of oof.
It basically it moves and it goes and it wants to basically get behind you and break your neck.
My mother-in-law is deeply
Oh my!
unsettled by weeping angels. Um like we thought of pranks to like get like a weeping angel thing and put it on their holiday tree.
Oh my
Just
god!
so that way
Why?
she'd uncover it and like freak out. But she's flat up and like if you do that, like I will hit you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. What you want to do is put like a stone mask on your face, so when she does hit you, it's like solid rock. That would just set the fear in even more.
No, but that's
Um,
terrifying. Like a
yeah,
lot of these
right.
are actually really like some of them seem pretty like not that scary and then some of them seem so outlandish. Like there's one um that is a toaster 426. And I actually saw this cuz there's a lot of SCP games out there.
Yeah,
Like I know right now you're playing one that's trying to
painful. Really painful.
it's really painful right now.
Yeah,
You're playing SCP
Secret
Secret
Laboratories.
Laboratory.
Yeah.
Which is it's I
So
think that's the free one, right?
it's one
It's
of the free ones where you can play multiplayer. So that's why I got it on the community sort of thing going on right
no, for
now.
sure. I keep meaning to actually get it, but I haven't
I mean,
because
it's free,
it's
so I
free.
mean, it's not.
Like, there's
It's
no
just
reason I
literally one
don't.
button. You have to press one button.
Yeah, I'm
Go.
probably gonna do it after this, but um, there's a couple of other different games, and I know there was one where it actually brought up the toaster. The toaster can only be referred to in the first person, so what they do is they'd send a D class in to
Mhm.
just hang out with the toaster for a little bit, watch it,
What?
and be around the toaster. And then afterwards, the people come out and they only refer to themselves as a toaster and they think they're a toaster. And then they try to plug themselves in and they get electrocuted. Because
What?
yeah, it's wild. So in one of the games, like you actually cut to like this very like cartoony, like almost sort of like 8-bit thing where you walk down the hall and you're being told to go find the toaster and you find all these little notes that say stuff like um where's the bread, where like I need bread, and then like you see the toaster and you're like okay weird, and then like it's a time lapse and you go back and you try to find like stuff to make wire out of so you can plug yourself. It's really
Oh my
wild and
god,
like it's
that's
not supposed to be creepy, like the animation's not very creepy in and of itself, but the idea is incredibly unsettling. Like yeah, this thing will literally change your brain into thinking you are a toaster.
that's a that really bizarre.
Yeah,
What?
toast.
So so they get a plug. So essentially, they get a plug socket, take it out whatever utensil it used to be in, cut the end off, and plug one bit in, and then the other bit up where.
I have no idea. Now those are questions that I don't want to. If we don't think about it, it's gonna be fine.
I can't imagine why. Yeah, no, that'd be a horrible
In
experience.
your bum.
No big up. Yeah, so yeah, so that SCP is one of the more famous ones. And he will just basically try to appear behind you and break your neck. And it's
Oof.
really fast as well. And you in this game it's really freaky because you can't see it, but you can hear it. You can just hear it just like concrete rubbing on the floor, just sliding everywhere.
Oof. No, thank you. That's no.
Oh
No,
bugger.
thank you.
Yeah.
That's scary, but it's also
Mm,
really cool. That's cute. I
mm.
like it. I don't know how I feel. There are a lot of these ones, and I think there's some uh that are like really huge and like world ending. And I'm trying to
Yes, I
find them, but
couldn't find any of those. Someone did say about it, but then they disappeared. I'm like, no, 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 no. I need this information now.
I think one I want to say if I'm remembering, it's like the Scarlet King.
Oh, that's either Elden Ring, and I can't spell Scarlet.
Oh, it's
Apparently.
so
Oh, it's a 231. Let's have a look. So yeah, as said before, like this is all on Wikipedia. So if anyone actually wants like a random read, it's there. Adult. Oh. Ooh.
yeah, it's I'm going through to see what it is
Uh,
exactly, but I heard
oh, it's decided to
basically
skip out the seven.
it's a world ender.
Two, one. Yeah, I'm just having a look. So yeah, there are some of them that will just annihilate the world if left undevised. 2317. The door. Okay, somebody's been trolling me because this isn't. This is this is just using password stuff. What is this? What is this BS? Internet, stop lying to me. Now this one's saying it's. Oh wait, that would make more sense. Oh yeah, because this is another thing that they do. Um. So they will put some classifications um, redacted altogether so that you can't find out about it because that's how deeply they want information to be sealed. Um,
Oh, that actually opens a whole other can of worms that's
mm,
outside of this. So, do you know what a thought form is?
I oh my god, how thought form? Not off the top of my head, no.
So, there's a lot of different names for the idea, depending on which culture you're from. But basically, the generally sweeping generalization is a thought form is something that didn't exist before people started thinking about it, started talking about it, started feeding into it. And
Right.
the more that this thing, this whatever it is thought about, the more people who are thinking about it, who talk about it,
Oh,
the
yes.
more
Okay.
concrete this becomes in our reality.
Yes, I've heard of things related to this. There's some films, another anime that did the same thing. Like, there was this like big hyped up spirit entity that everyone believed in, but because they all believed in it, it started existing.
Yeah, it fed it so much that it became a thing.
Yeah, yeah, because that's a weird and scary concept if you thought about it. Like, if you think about something too much, that you might accidentally make it a real thing.
Accidentally create it. No. I
Yeah,
mean, and depending again on like any spiritual practice anyone might have, that is both a wonderful thing and a terrifying thing.
yeah,
Because in that way you could manifest that you hit the lotto, or that like you're gonna have a like the daily manifestations, like I'm gonna have a great day, it's gonna go well for me. But then there are
mm,
other people who may not have those kinds of manifestations if they get enough people behind them thinking of something like that, feeding it so much information and so much attention, rather, that it becomes something super scary that could
yeah.
hurt someone, that could hurt everyone. So that might be
Oh,
why, canonically, if we were to suspend our disbelief and be like, SCP is real for 100%, that might be a reason why they redact some of that information to limit how much people are going to be thinking about those specific parts of it.
mm. Yeah. So I was just looking into the containment classes. Um, but yeah, no, I know it's a very scary concept that like a urban legend becomes real because people think about it because that's just potentially indefinitely scary.
Yeah.
Like oh god, my chat's now telling me I want to scare. Um,
Don't go into an
oh
IKEA. You may not come out.
yeah, do not don't go on IKEA. You never come out and you eat like horse meat, bloody meatballs.
Where, yeah, I mean, those meatballs, I don't know, a lot of people love them, but they smell weird to me.
What meatballs?
No, the ones specifically in IKEA. I don't know
Yeah, because they
why.
had horse meat in
They
them.
do.
Well,
Okay, so that is a
they
thing.
did at one point. It was a real thing. It did happen. I may or may not have worked for a sister company of it. Not a proud moment, but you know.
Hey, I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
We all, if you're an adult who's ever had a job, you've at one point worked for a place that you're like, damn, I really wish I had never done that.
Yep. And I spent many, many, many years there.
But yeah, these different, there's like a whole
Sorry.
bunch of, again, these lores, the way that they're written
Yeah.
is that everybody who's involved in creating a lore, a lot of people try to tie them into other SCPs to sort of ground that. So like you'll
Yeah.
find an article about one SCP, but it'll have several different, like it'll allude to other SCPs, other
Yeah.
cases in the past, or
Yeah. Because like
specific
they have
people.
interactions with other ones. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're all
Um.
chilling in the same place for the most
Not
part, unless they're a physical place outside.
so they do. So lore wise, there are several um different sites. So they're not all in the same area. Because if they have a major failure of containment, like literally all their containment breach games will be real.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
mean that's just the smart thing. And you were saying about the different classifications.
yes, so I can tell you if you just give me a hot minute, I'm in a very, very sweet, sweet, dangerous spot. Right.
What if we're all in that game? We didn't know it.
Oh god. Let me just do this. Right. Okay. So I did Google it. I just had to bring it back up on Google. There we go.
Extensive research.
So there's safe, which is obviously safe. It kind of, it's very easy to contain or do not need any resource to contain it. So like these things sort of coexist with them.
Yeah.
There is one of the funniest one I've heard of is a statue of some form, which basically changes ownership on the premise of who's done the greatest pranks on the person who currently owns it. And then it's after that. Sorry, I'm being trolled. Euclid, which is does not require more research. That requires more research to contain completely, but containment is not always reliable. So it's there's some dangers to it.
Okay.
Uh, and then oh good lord, shy guy. Then there's cater. So these are the bigger ones, which you're more commonly aware of. These are dangerous. So they're very difficult to contain or not have yet been contained. They need a lot of resources to contain it, and basically, if they do get out, things are going to go down. And then it goes even further. Um, so there's I can't even pronounce this. So there's Apollyon, which is basically it's impossible to contain or expected to breach containment very frequently.
Oh.
Hang on, I'm just being attacked by Shy Guy. Yeah, and Anomalous Archon. Oh, what's this? SCPs that can be contained, but are not due to their positive anomalous effects on the planet. Oh, okay, that's cute. But yeah, the ones you're talking about were the Apollons. I can't even pronounce the word; it's so funky. But these are the SCPs that will basically end the Earth. Oh my god, I've been. Oh. Okay, you know this whole big idea where I'm going to stream and do this at the same time. It's coming together and kicking me in the butt. Oh god, I just died. Give me a second. Someone's just asked me for a hat. Give me a sec. Ah, ah. This is how you do spooky games with a bloody Pikachu hat on your head. Hello. Right. So yeah. So the cater classes are the more common ones. So things like oh god, it was 173, 173 maybe. Yeah, the sculpture, also known as Peanut. Euclid.
Peanut.
Okay, you're Euclid. Who's Cater then?
uh,
This it's gonna be the Lizard Boy. Let's talk about Lizard Boy again.
we have to. We have to.
We have to. It deserves a lot. So yeah, Cater. SCP-682. The what do they dubbed it? They did dub it as something. Like the
682
um
is a
my chat is
cater.
awful.
Keter.
Geeter 939. Why does it have to be at the bottom? Scroll!
Um,
939. That's no 939 is with many what is this? You son of a gun.
yeah, so it's a very large, vaguely reptile-like creature of unknown origin. It appears to be
Yep.
extremely intelligent and was observed to engage in complex conversation with SCP-079, which is something entirely different. I don't know what that is.
Which SCP?
079.
Think that might be possibly Plague Doctor. Nope, maybe 079?
It's actually a Exidy Sorcerer microcomputer built in 1978.
Oh yes! That's it. Yeah. I remember this one, yeah. No, I don't know it all the top of my head, but I remember that there was an interaction. 1 second.
Yeah, it looks like that 682 and another SCP were contained in the same chamber for 43 minutes. Um during which time SCP-682 was able to type and communicate with this computer,
Mm.
um, including telling of personal stories between themselves. Um,
Hard to destroy reptile. Sorry, that's what it was dubbed at.
Parts destroyed.
Yeah, it's hard to destroy. You can't destroy it. Just regenerating. Ow.
Yeah. It hates all of life. That's a
Mm.
mood.
That
And
is,
has
yeah, I can relate, to be honest with you.
absolutely. Has been expressed in several interviews which it's expressed in several interviews during containment. It's always been observed to have extremely high strength, speed, reflexes. Um, but the exact levels vary with its form. Its
Yeah.
physical body grows and changes very quickly, growing or decreasing in size as it consumes or sheds material. Um,
Yes.
it gains energy from everything it ingests, whether it's organic or inorganic, and digestion is aided by a set of filtering gills inside of its nostrils, which are able to remove usable matter from any liquid solution, enabling it to constantly regenerate from the acid in which it's contained. You were telling us that earlier.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is a bit bonkers. The thing it's killing it is actually keeping it. Yeah.
yeah. It's been moving and speaking with its body 87% destroyed
Mm.
in some situations.
Yeah. It's crazy. Let me see, because I've got it up as well. Firstly, one sec. And first code. Oh, there's so much stuff. Honestly, I'm gonna get stuck in this again. Oh
There
no.
really is. There is a lot. I mean, it's a constantly ever growing thing. This
Yeah.
foundation, all this stuff.
Mm. Oh, actually, this reminds me. I have to cover this one due to the phobias people have. You want to look into SCP-993 and look at the image very quickly. And everyone who's listening to this in the future or the past or whichever, look up SCP-993, and
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
especially if you have phobias against clowns, especially if you
Oh,
do.
god damn it. I hate that so much. I
Yeah, I just
hate
found it by
that.
accident.
Oh
I was
god,
like, oh, that's cute.
this is a
Oh
safe
god.
one. I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I listen,
So you're not a fan of clowns then?
here's the thing. I fully respect those who who are actual clowns. They have an egg, they do all of that. I respect them for their art form. However, I fucking hate clowns. They're creepy to me. It's like a whole I'm going to tell you a story. I used to work
Yep.
for a big chain uh pharmacy. I worked the customer service end. I was a service manager.
Mm.
And during Halloween, they have creepy stuff they set out for the Halloween season, you know,
Okay.
and one of them was an animatronic clown, and
Oh, that's two in one.
it was motion activated. So if you were within X amount of feet of it, its eyes would glow red and it would go and it would shake its head. Um, so me and one of the other managers, because I did it one time to her after she did it to me like 5 times, I was like, "You're gonna get it." Where we would hide it, like if we were pulling tills at the end of the night, we would go and grab it and hide it, so that way the other person would inevitably run into it. She would leave it at the end of aisles, so I'd turn with a till, and there it would be, and it would start doing that, and it scared the piss out of me so many times. Zeta, if you're listening to this, I still hate that clown, but I love you for the prank. Uh,
Oh no.
but no, this is creepy. It's okay. So it's blocked from public viewing. They intercept broadcasts of this SCP-993.
Mm.
Any subject used to view SCP-993 must be under the age of 10 and are to be dosed with a Class A amnesiac after they have had the episode.
You know, standard
But
stuff.
why?
You can find the IKEA.
This is what IKEA. This is what they have for Honestly, that's terrifying though. Okay, so its properties, anyone who's watching it older than 10 years will fall unconscious, cannot talk today, when the program begins and will remain incapacitated until the end of the program, later reporting a stabbing headache immediately before blacking out.
Oh,
So you
nice.
fainted. What I heard is you fainted because you're afraid of clowns. Like, that's what I heard.
Hmm.
Did you
I think
really
that's
link?
usually just been attacked by clowns. That's all that's happened. It's
Yes.
just a regular clown thing. It's probably watching like it,
Oh,
like the old
shit.
version of it.
So if you're under the age of 10, it teaches and advocates activities such as
Oh
cannibalism,
lord.
murder,
Oh
torture.
no.
These activities appear to be ingrained in the subject's mind. Oh, so it's like, does it do like the happy campy, like, and today we're gonna teach you about, and then like it does the subliminal messagery thing, but like very, oh, that's so weird. How would they know what it shows if everybody blacks out?
True that. I mean, what if?
There's like, is there like a 9-year-old D class that they're like, "Alright, kid, I'm gonna need you to go in there and tell us everything this clown showed you." Yeah, like what?
Hmm. Well, just like I guess maybe like they just keep throwing children at the situation. It's like, well, they're all doing these things, so this is probably what's happening.
Or maybe that's why they give them the amnesic afterwards. So they
Hmm.
literally throw kids in there.
It's just one child. It's just the same one over and over and over again. Oh, that's cruel.
But how would
Oh,
you
that is
how
so
would you
grim.
know? There's the thing is though, scientifically speaking, they would have to throw more than one kid at it. And here's why. They would have to be able to replicate that that's what it's doing. Because who
Hmm.
knows? Maybe if they did one kid,
Maybe
who knows? Maybe
like
that kid was already like knowing about that, into that. I was a creepy kid, like,
yeah,
like,
that little side note there.
like. And also, as a kids at a certain age, like when they're super young, like when they're just learning how to talk and stuff,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
like toddlerish area, like those kids that like they just say really creepy things like about like spirits that they see or some stuff, or
Mm.
like my friend who's da da da. Like kids are creepy almost innately at a certain age, but like they're supposed to like not be as creepy as they get older. I have a lot of nieces and nephews,
Hmm.
and almost every single one of them has said some creepy shit. And like when they were really really young, I'm like, oh god, I hope you never ever repeat that, because that's like, oh yeah, my friend. I had a nephew who was like my friend Z, who died in a car crash because he was going really fast to get away from the cops. I'm like, what? And
What?
he was describing a person a person who had actually died though, because we looked it up. And he was like, yeah, so and like this is my friend. We're gonna call him C. My friend C who did this, and this is what happened, and he's dead now. And like very matter of fact type of way, and I'm just like, that's so creepy. Like I'm pretty sure my nephew
Mm.
has zero recollection of this now that he's like, how does time work? I think he's like 10. I want to say he's like 10.
How does time work?
Okay.
Wait, you know when you said you've been up for hours and it's actually been like 20 seconds?
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's
fact.
not that. It's not that at all.
It could be.
Oh god.
And oh my god, the clown. I gotta close out of this screen because it
It's
looks.
just the screensaver.
No, absolutely not. So yeah, there's all these different. There's so many.
Mm.
Um, so the computer that gains sentience.
That's a frightening one because that's is. I don't think it's exclusively the computer. I think it's a key card. No, key card. It's a floppy disk.
Microcomputer.
Yeah, something like that. And they copied it and then they put it onto another machine and it just started rewriting the code and then started taking over system after system after system. It's yeah, because
Yeah,
if it had connectivity to it, it would just it's in control.
so it
It's
it passed the Turing test, and was very conversational, but was very rude and hateful in tone.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's just normal, right?
Yeah, that's a mood.
I mean, yeah, everyone's seen Tron.
Valid. Valid.
Mm.
It doesn't really. I'm not looking into like the actual stories because there are a lot. That would be long.
There's
Some of these are very lengthy, but there's a bunch. 409 is a Keter class that has
409.
containment. Its containment procedure is that no physical contact can be made with it for any reason. Anyone who does have physical contact with it needs to be in quarantine immediately. Any materials that were used in the transport of the subject must be kept in a granite case at all times. Any transportation of SCP-409 must be done in a sealed granite chamber. Why?
Damn, that's
Why? Okay, so it resembles a large quartz crystal, about 5 feet tall and 2 feet wide. Um, any objects coming in contact in it will begin to crystallize after 3 hours. That's why. That's why they got
oh
to do all the weird containment stuff because it's like one of those things you get from like the store when you're like little science experiment, like grow your own crystals. That's what it is. Only I'm guessing sentient. Is it sentient or is it just a thing? I think it's just a thing actually. 5 foot tall and 2 feet wide. That's like a person size. That's person
mm.
sized.
Yeah, must be like a person who got touched the previous one and turned into a crystal and then repeat.
Oh. Oh. Hey Thrall. Oh my god. Oh. Um, let's see.
Yeah, it was.
D5, as subject 409 D5 was exposed to the effects of the crystal and were left to become severely crystallized after he was treated with another SCP and they were able to recover them within 9 days. But he kept
Oh,
feeling his body parts being
oh my
crystallized
god.
even after the recovery was done.
Oh,
Um,
that sounds. I don't know if anyone knows this, but a game called Command and Conquer and the Tiberium in that. So in number 3, it's basically essentially the same thing. If you were exposed to it for too long, it would basically you start turning into Tiberium. And because they actually writ on the law, what happens is it's like it will get your nuclei, and it basically just yeets your nuclei out of the way and made a copy of itself and put it in its place. So you just essentially become more Tiberium, and then anything you
oh,
touch that's Tiberium turns into more Tiberium, and it's just a never-ending process. But it sounds a lot like that, just a lot more painful.
a lot more painful. Like there's a medical thing where like your bones become really I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's like your body kind of calcifies.
Um, yeah,
Calcify. Yeah, that's right. That's the right word.
yeah,
I learned how to word.
yeah.
And like
Just
everything like moving around becomes incredibly painful.
yeah.
I can only
Knew a
imagine
guy
that,
had
but
that.
with crystals, oof,
Yeah, that
oof.
slowly consume more things to turn into more crystals. Yeah.
No, I mean, but you're gonna be quartz, so like you could be used for anything. That was a
oh,
metaphysical pun. It's funny. Where are my crystal girls at? No.
it's-
Then there's one. The SCP that they used to cure that guy was SCP-500,
yes.
and it's a small plastic can, which contains 47 red pills. Um,
Yep.
one pill, when taken orally, effectively cures the subject of all diseases within two
Yeah.
hours,
Yeah.
which is weird that it took this dude 9 days.
Yep.
That's okay. Oof, that's scary. Um, exact time does depend on the severity and the amount of the subject's conditions. All attempts at synthesizing more of what is thought to be the active ingredient has been unsuccessful.
So this is an interesting thing. So there is another SCP that can make it. whether it's in the law or not. And I'm actually literally in the game now in that room, which is 914. And it's a giant machine. It's really strange how this thing works. It's a giant machine. That's a whole entire room dedicated to it, and it has a dial set on it, uh, going from, actually I can read it now: rough, coarse, 1 to 1, fine, very fine, and a button underneath it that activates the machine. There's on the left side a chain. Oh, I don't. There's a chamber on the left side for intake, and a chamber on the right side for out. And whenever you press the button, both doors shut, and then whatever was in the door on the left appears on the door on the right with a change depending on what you put the dial on.
Oh.
Uh,
So,
was it 914? I said so. Yeah, I can give you more of a
yeah.
description.
It's a clockwork device weighing several tons and
Yes.
covering the area of 18 square meters, uh, consisting of a lot of different workings. It's incredibly complex, consisting of over 8 million moving parts, comprised mostly of tin and copper. Very steampunk, I love it.
Mm.
With some wooden and cloth items observed. Observation and probing have shown no electronic assemblies or any form of power other than mainspring under the selection panel. Two large booths are connected via copper tubes to the main body of SCP-914, labeled intake and output. Between them is a copper panel with a large knob with a small arrow attached. The words rough, coarse, 1 to 1, fine, and very fine are positioned at points around the knob. Below the knob is a large key that winds the main spring. Oh yeah, so this is definitely some steampunk shit.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
1 to 1. So
so
yeah, that would be able to do it. You would
yeah.
think.
So they put in some inputs and outputs like underneath that. So for example, um, let's say, so they put in 1 kilo of steel and they put the setting on rough, and the output was a pile of steel chunks in various sizes appeared to be cut by laser. And then, for example, they put a kilo of steel carpet tacks, and they got a kilo of steel when they put it on fine. It, it's just silly little things. Um, let's have a look. There was another one. They started putting like biological entities in there. So they put a wristwatch that belonged to one of the doctors, put it on course, and they ended up with a disassembled wristwatch. But yeah,
Okay.
but
1 to 1. Here's a thing. Okay. So the 1 to 1 setting, there's a couple examples here where they put a white mouse in, but they got a brown mouse out,
yes,
or a cell
no,
phone. They got a cell
and they
phone
got
out, but it was a different make and
a
model.
completely different cell phone. Yeah,
So that
it's
might
yes.
be.
So what some of the people who make games of SCP, like they make 914 do some various things. So if you put any medical equipment into it and put it onto, I think it was fine. It'll slowly upgrade it up to the point where it becomes SCP 500,
Oh,
which is kind of handy in the game mechanic world. Um, but yeah, so the really like from the game fluff, like the really most powerful thing about 914 is you can put in a sheet of paper, and if you put the settings on right, it will become a sheet of paper with any documentation you want whatsoever, which is really weird. Or because one of the common ones they like doing is putting key cards in and then upgrading them, and then eventually, like you get like say a janitor's key card. Eventually, you'll end up with a key card that says you're one of the owners of what's called an O5 zone manager, which is one of the big boys. And there's like I think there's like fifth, like I want to say 10 people maximum. But I can't quite remember because there's a limited amount of them, and there's no way on planet Earth that there'd be one there and then. So like you get some really weird things. Like you put in a radio, put it on fine, you get a radio with unlimited battery back. Um,
that's
it's
handy.
really funky what you get out of it. But yeah, it's a really fascinating thing. After a while, they did actually stop putting biological mass in there
Yeah, because it
because
looks like they kept putting. They put some animals in, and then they started putting D class subjects in.
yeah. and
Which,
the thing that came out was not
yeah, it
very
keeps
good.
saying it says data
One of them,
expunged around a lot of
yeah,
these.
one of them started murdering some peoples.
Yep. That would be D186. Um,
Yeah. Oh, I've lost the page. Where is it to? There you go. 914.
and it was after a
Yeah,
couple of these that they were like, "Hey, maybe we should stop putting people in there."
yeah. Because yeah. So the it's really strange. So they put subject 186. He was a 42-year-old male weighing 108 kilos and 185 centimeters tall,
And
and and they put it the setting to 1, and they got back out a 42-year-old man, 100 kilos, so he's lost 8 kilos, and he's gained 3 centimeters in height. And the subject was very confused, agitated, and they started attacking people. Um, oh god, the next one they put in was 28 years old. They put it on verified, and then whatever came out opened up 3 containments for 3 different SCPs.
yep, and it took out 8 guards and a and 2 doctors. It looks like they had to get a
Holy heck.
special team to engage the suspect, which ended up severely wounding the subject.
Yeah.
Um, Memory loss was a thing that everybody kind of had. There was corrosive damage to plumbing. And then the subject expired and eventually dissolved into blue ash, and it blinded the nearby research. So it basically, like, poof, and
Mm.
turned into a pile of blue ash, but it was so bright that it blinded the research team that was nearby. And after that, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna stop doing this weird shit." Which, yeah, absolutely. Oof,
Mm.
scary.
Yeah, so that's one of the very interesting ones. It's not dangerous per se. 939, what's
It
939?
could be. It could be very
Potentially,
dangerous.
yeah. Oh, 93 dies there, lizard doggo. We've done you. Hang on, I'm just looking for. I'm multitasking. Not the smartest thing to do. Not
Listen,
gonna
I'm
lie.
very proud of you because you're doing a great job.
Yeah, I'm trying. Somebody in my chat is doing God's work to try and distract me.
Oh, this one. Hold on. What is that? SCP-294.
Let me have a look.
Looks like
294. A coffee
it's
machine?
Euclid. This is one that I love. I don't know. I'm without any
Well,
knowledge. I'm like
it's a
coffee.
dangerous
Yes.
coffee machine.
Um, there's no standard special containment procedure on file for this, but only personnel with security clearance of 2 or higher are allowed to interact with it. Ah, keeping the coffee from the masses? Rude. It's being stored in a second floor personnel break room and is monitored by 2 guards at all times.
Wow.
It's a standard coffee vending machine, but the difference being that an entry touchpad with buttons corresponding to English QWERTY keyboard. But if you deposit 15 cents in US currency into the coin slot, the user is prompted to enter the name of any liquid using the touchpad. Upon doing so, a standard 12-ounce paper drinking cup is placed, and the liquid indicated is poured. 97 initial test runs were performed, including requests for water, coffee, beer, soda, non consumable liquids such as sulfuric acid, wiper fluid, and motor oil, as well as
What?
substances that do not actually exist in liquid state, such as nitrogen, iron, and
Petrol.
glass. And
Well,
each one
I could be in
returned
a
a
liquid state.
success. Liquid glass. What? That's weird and awesome, but weird.
So
Um,
bizarre.
so the test runs with solid materials such as diamond have failed. So diamond did not equal liquid diamond.
Yeah, no, because liquid diamond is basically liquid carbon.
Oh,
You ain't.
so they just entered it wrong. They just needed to know. They
I
just
guess
needed
so.
to.
Yeah, because scientifically speaking, liquid diamond's literally liquid diamond. Oh god. Oh god. Hang on. Hang on. I'm being attacked. I've been attacked. Help. Help. Help.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
This
So
is a
I
beautiful thing.
I only know this because I was playing some games which kind of teaches me some fundamental basics, which kind of made sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking hang on.
Okay. And it so after
Um,
50 uses, it has to like
as
restock.
recharge. So yeah, no, we ran out of sulfuric acid. Sorry, guys.
Come back later for your liquid nitrogen.
Right. Like what? Like, and it comes in a paper cup. Like, what happens if the cup doesn't actually support
Right? Like
what you
sulfuric
put in there?
acid, you'd think. I mean, there are specific types of plastic that can contain sulfuric acid. But if it's paper, it's over for that cup.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like if you put super glue in a pot of polystyrene, that cup's gonna be melted.
mhm, immediately. Um, so after they did a lot of the testing is still ongoing, but what they did was they moved it into a break room so they could save money. Since they're using
Wow.
US currency, could 100% believe that is something they would do. Be like, you know what? This is gonna be cheaper than getting our
Mm.
own vending machine on rent. Uh, so
That's mad.
and the security guard's the one that input what you want, so that way people
Yeah,
can't
so
just be like, I would like
um,
this.
liquid uranium
Oh geez.
or
Oh geez.
oh, that's mad. I love it.
Ugh.
I love it.
Oh
How
god.
about pee? A cup of pee.
Yeah, it looks like they did a lot of different ones. Someone did a researcher had punched in from a safe range a request for a cup of anti-water.
Anti-water.
But when they did, it displayed the image the it said out of range. So it's theorized that it has a limited range of collection, but it can't reach out into alternate universes or dimensions, which is comforting. Um and that's the same message they got when they tried to get liquid diamond. Oh, here, when a cup of carbon was subsequently punched in, the machine dispensed a cup of liquid carbon.
Yep.
So you were right on that. Um,
Uh,
yeah, there's like a whole bunch of. They have a list of everything they tried. That's so funny.
mm.
Oh,
Oh wow! I want to read
some
more
of
of
these
this.
are wild.
You requested a cup of l- leukemia. What?
Yeah, I just saw that.
A
Um,
cup of D151839's leukemia and received a cup of fluid. The fluid was marked exam and found that leukemia blast cells. What? So they managed to get a cup of somebody specific.
oh shit. So the thing about that is, so they did it from a specific person. They used a specific D class, their leukemia, so then they got the cup of the blast cells. So they tried to do it again, but they got the message out of range. So they thought it was an error, so then they tested the D class, and they were free of leukemia. However, it was back in 15 days.
Bang,
But
15 days.
still, that's super interesting and terrifying and
Mm.
interesting.
Yeah, that's well interesting. What else we got?
Oh, a
Oh,
lot of
here's
these are.
one of interest. SCP-513. It's dumb, but it's also scary at the same time. It's a cowbell, but it's a Euclid
You know
class
what? We
cowbell.
need more cowbell. We need more of it. So it has a lot of stuff under the containment procedures, which the last few of these don't really need a lot, but this apparently has
Yeah,
to be
this
in
needs a
a
lot.
block of gelatin.
Yeah,
So it'll be soundproof and climate controlled.
yeah. So like the idea is to make sure that bell does not hit this side of the walls. Um, basically if there's any because this is the gruesome bit. If they find any degradation with the cells, oh for God's sake! Oh God, hang on.
If any degradation, rips, tears, splits, liquefaction, or mold within the gelatin that houses it,
This is the gruesome
SCP-513
bit.
is to be immediately removed and suspended within a replacement cube by a team surgically deafened. Oh,
So they have like those tiny little bones in your ears. They probably have those removed.
yeah.
It's
I mean, even
grim.
honestly, here's the thing. So I'm actually, fun fact, chat, I'm deaf in my left ear, and it's
Mm-hmm.
because those three bones, two of them are very close together, and the other one is very far away. Like they didn't like equidistant grow. They
They
kind of
didn't
grew
set in the
weird,
right proper
and I'm
positions.
deaf in that ear. I've been deaf in that ear for a long time, since my head was the size it was. Like,
What does that even mean?
I don't even know, but I'm sure facts. But yeah, so they
But
they
yeah,
surgically deafen the D-class people. They have them enter the cell, put the cowbell in a new thing of Jello. I'm gonna call it Jello. TM. No. And then any sentient beings exposed to it are to be monitored for at least by two security guards at all times. Absolutely no circumstances may exposed victims be administered sedatives. Oh, they're not allowed to fall asleep. Any
no,
victim who does fall unconscious is to be terminated. What the fuck?
yeah, yeah, it's grim.
Oh,
I
so does it make people crazy?
Yeah, so the rest of it is basically saying like if they heard the sound of that bell, anyone who hears the sound, because this is the annoying thing about this thing, because if you sound is such a hard thing not to hear, sort of, it's hard to explain. Sound is one of the worst things because you could be in another room, you can hear something from a mile away, for example,
Yeah.
right? It's really hard to contain that sort of thing. Um, but with this bad boy, if you hear the cowbell, you will start getting an interaction from an entity called SCP-1513-1, which is like a sort of mental image of a ghost or something like that constantly haunts you, and you will see it like not super frequently, but every here and there. If you move your head too quickly, or you look in a mirror, or so, like just the corner of your eye, you'll see it, whatever it is, and it will basically degrade your mental health and try and keep you awake. But at some point, you're going to fall asleep, and when you fall asleep,
It
it attacks
assaults
you.
you. Oh, wow.
So yeah,
So,
it's basically designed to make you ridiculously unstable.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
sleep deprivation, first off, sleep deprivation will kill you.
yeah,
That is actual science. Like, that will kill you. Like, if you go, I think, I think it's after 19 hours of being awake, your brain starts to, like, kind of cordon off power to cells in your brain. Like, okay, this is not necessary. We don't need to have it right now. And it starts doing that. But after so much time awake, after that time frame that it starts doing that, it starts, because the rest of those pieces parts of the brain are having that energy flow cut off, that they start to kind of die out. So you could physically hurt yourself in the long run doing that. But sleep deprivation is a thing, it's a tactic that you will see when they're torturing people or they're trying to get in for it's a bet. Torture is not a good way to get information out of people, first and foremost.
no,
Secondly, um it's irreversible damage. It can lead to death because at some point you're only going to be able to power one thing to keep you alive. Like, it'll get to the point where there's nothing else it can do. It won't be able to access anything.
mm,
But that's wild. So it shows up every 14 to 237 minutes, which is a huge variance. You were right. Um,
yeah.
but sleep deprivation, mental stress, it induces paranoia, aggression, hypervigilance, depression. Oh God, it has abnormally large hands. The SCP. 513-1. It's a tall, emaciated humanoid with large hands. And there's a thing that's if you've seen it, now he can hear you. You've touched it, now he can see you. Never ring it. If you hear it, he can touch you. That's
Yeah,
weird. That's like some
it's
weird
creepy.
like Freddy Krueger but with a cowbell. If Freddy Krueger was played by Christopher Walken instead of Robert Englund. Oh man, that's so weird. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, no, it's really horrible. Like, so, a simple cowbell, that's like, you know, it'll just cause so much havoc on its own accord.
Yeah, because I mean,
Um,
so the way sound doesn't travel as fast as light, so they would need to have. Oh, weird. That's so weird.
it's
I don't like that.
it's a horrible one because it's just it's harder to protect yourself from sound. Like
No,
you can
yeah,
protect
because
yourself from light by
it
just
looks like
putting a box on your
even
ear.
the earmuffs that keep everything.
Ooh.
So in
No,
theory, you
because
could
it's
ask
still
for your boss's brain cells.
yeah. But the thing is, because if you start manhandling it, it will vibrate through your body,
Yeah,
so you're still gonna hear it, regardless, no matter what you put around your ear. Is like
yeah. Oh wow, I don't like that. Mm-mm. No, thank you.
yeah, yeah. Right, here's
Let's.
another
Yeah.
good one for you. Right, another scary one is SCP-049, which is also known as the Plague Doctor.
The plague doctor. Oh my goodness. If you've been on the internet, there was a section of TikTok for one point had like the sexy plague doctors.
What?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
oh
so TikTok.
no.
So there are a few TikTok creators who literally like their whole shtick is that they're SCP scientists. So they'd be stitched or duetted by other people who were dressed up as a sexy plague doctor, and they'd be like SCP-049, get back in your cell, like crazy shit. Sorry, that was a complete
Wow.
side tangent.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I'm not googling that ever again.
Don't Google it. Don't Google.
Do
I
not.
should have warned you with that.
Yeah, it's like what's it? Is it rule 32 or 42?
It's Rule 34 of the internet.
34. Close enough. One of them. Yeah,
Uh,
that's basically the laws here. Um, cool.
so this
But
is
yeah,
a
so
Euclid one.
this boy is well, I only know much from the games. I haven't actually read too much about him, but I know basically his overview of life is it's an illness, and he wants to cure you of that illness, not by killing you, by basically bringing you back from the land of the dead,
Oh,
as it
for,
were, and
just
turn
secure.
into a zombie.
So he's a necromancer. Is what I'm hearing.
Mm.
Just such
Yeah,
a
he's
good job.
grim. He is grim. So his humanoid entity, roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears an appearance of medieval plague doctor. So in history, we had plague doctors. Basically, they're the men in like fully like gown sort of things, wearing a
Gown and
face
caps.
mask and like a sort of long beak nose. And at the end of what they had was at the end of the beak nose was like some sort of incense because they thought that would help them protect themselves
Yeah,
from
because
illnesses.
they thought that disease came from miasma or bad humors in the air. So that by doing that, by having something there like that sweet but would the flowers or whatever that they'd have, the herbs there were supposed to be if the miasma flowed through it, it would be stopped. Basically the idea behind masks, but like way convoluted. Fun fact about the plague, places that had candles up. And you see this actually with stuff, we've kind of been living through. We've all kind of been living through a plague, to some degree. But the candles, like that they'd have up in like places of worship, people would be like, wow, like there was a whole like thing where people were like, oh, like the plague isn't touching this area, and they thought like, oh, because of XYZ is protecting this building, when in actuality it's because they had a bunch of candles, a lot of candles that were just kind of burning through whatever came through the air. That's a fun fact of the day. Which is why at the beginning of this situation, a lot of people were buying lamp burger, I think is what it's called.
Lamp burger.
It's like a
I would like a
lamp
lamp
that you
burger.
it's like a little lamp that you can get. It's got like the stuff in the bottom and it's an
Does
open
it come in
flame at the
buns?
top. So it's like a type of incense, but it has a big flame.
Hmm. Okay. Mm.
Thank you for the follow, Miss Bogus Dickus. Biggest
This
Dickus,
biggest,
my
biggest,
I am
biggest.
so sorry. I just said that wrong. No offense to your biggest Dickus. I appreciate you though. Dickus. Lamp. Yes, lamp. So yeah, so it's got the nose. Oh, they have an X-ray,
Yep.
but oh, it's so
It's
it's
part of his body.
oh, it's part of his body.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine sneezing though? If you're
Um.
SCP-4, like
I mean,
if
if
I
you,
sneeze, I tilt my head down a little bit when I sneeze, like involuntarily. Probably like hurt yourself doing. I'm trying to like measure out. That's a big nose.
yeah.
So yeah, it's like a medieval plague doctor. Um,
Yeah. He is capable of speech. Though he tends to prefer English or medieval French. Um. He feels. Oh, I'm trying to quickly gloss over this.
yeah.
So. Um. Is generally cordial and cooperative for Foundation staff. It can be especially irritated or at times outright aggressive if it feels that is in the presence of what's so-called a pestilence, although the exact nature of pestilence is currently unknown. It does seem to be an immense-ish concern for 049. Um, and left and choke generally attempt to kill any. So some people just bug him, I guess.
So
Oh Jesus, that's OP. So 049 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. So if he touches you, he's literally the Grim Reaper. He touches you, you're dead.
oh dang. Yes, I will hydrate. Thank you so much, Jaeger Hammerhand. Hello, welcome to
That's
Spooky
grim.
Saturdays. I appreciate you.
Ooh.
I'm gonna drink actual water and not just coffee.
I
We all
tell you
know.
what, I've read over to you. Why not?
Okay, so it's one touch
It's
kill.
one touch kill, which is
That's
disgusting.
incredibly OP though. Like,
Yeah.
could you like not today? Phew. Um. Okay,
Yeah.
so it will try to do a crude surgery to remove pestilence. The surgeries are not always successful, but they often result in the creations of instances of 049-2, which, like you said, reanimated corpses. Um, they don't retain any of their prior memories or mental functions, having only basic motor skills and response mechanisms. They're generally inactive, moving very little and in general ambulatory fashion. Uh, but they become pretty aggressive if you provoke them, or if SCP-049 directs them to be aggressive. Hmm. So
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's a whole bunch of. That's a lot. Oh my god! Thank you for the raid, Combat.
I don't know what you're on about.
I
Never happened.
I had no idea that was gonna be a thing. I appreciate you. Um,
Yep. Yep. You have raid.
much raid.
Now,
Very excited.
now I can actually just sit back and relax. Now, oh, I can't. I don't need the multitask. It's great.
Well, welcome raiders. I'm very
Well,
excited that you've joined this part of the SCP Spooky Saturdays edition. Anyone again who for some reason is not already following Combatdude, I did shout him out. You should do that because it's a good time for everyone. Um,
mm,
okay, so Yeah, it's got a
Yeah,
bunch of different amendments where a lot of people, there were different logs, and a lot of people have written stories about 049. Um,
yeah, I was. We usually in crude surgery and court and containing black doctor badge carries a personal side. While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of 049-T, which
yeah.
they
And it looks like
reanimate
at one point
doctors.
they put him in a room with another doctor, and he was like, "You should know," blah blah, blah, and was like trying to be like, "I am the best." Tried to out doctor an actual doctor
Hmm.
because the clothes are apparently a part of it. Like how the beak is actually a part of its like bone structure.
Yep.
The
Yep.
clothes are actually its skin.
Oh, okay. That's kind of.
That's kind
So
of
he's naked.
yeah. He's not even attempting to Pooh Bear. Like he's just like fully out there.
Wow.
But that's wild. So okay, so it views. I wonder, like, where does it draw the line at pestilence? Does like, is it like a
That's the
cold?
thing.
Does it just try to like unalive people straight up for having a cold and be like, I'm gonna work and like remote cure you by making you a zombie person? That's weird.
Hmm. And they just kind of glossed over it. They didn't say what it deems as pestilence. But yeah, it's from my understanding of it. Oh my god, there's so much documentation.
Yeah, like this one, like it's really well a lot of documentation has been put on here.
Oh my god. So there's audio logs as well, and it sounds like the guy I can't remember his name is. I think it's I want to say it's Peterson. Let me just check. Um, Marvel. Bu- 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 Oh no! Oh, Paul Bettany.
Oh, Paul
Maybe,
Bettany.
yeah, it sounds a lot like Paul Bettany.
It's canon now. Paul Bettany is the
Hmm.
plague doctor. No, no, that's
Hmm.
okay.
But yeah, so
Yeah. Oof.
from my understanding, it's basically he wants to cure life, but it could be a level of intellect. It could be like they got the sniffles one day, or they're not feeling a little bit under the weather. Yeah, it could be a load of
And
things.
it looks like they just kind of fed this thing a lot of D class personnel to figure
Yeah.
all this out.
Yeah, because that's literally what they do most of the time. They will just throw D class because if that's the way they can try and understand something, they'll just throw D class at them if they have to. Um, it's really, 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 really funky like that. Um, yeah, because at the end of the day, that like it's really strange. Despite how horrible that this organization is, like their objective is to protect. Like it is in their name,
Yeah, it's
SCP. Like
secure, contain, protect is what
and they
SCP can be
yeah
used for.
yeah, and they will go for any means to do so. Um, but at least they're kind of reasonable about it. Like they're not just like murdering everything in sight. There's just people already on death row and such like that. Um, oh, here's another one you're going to hate, and he's another famous one. 106. Now this guy's called Radical Larry.
Radical
Um,
Larry. Oh,
he is frightening. He is very
that's
very very dangerous.
ooh.
So the stuff I do know off the top of my head. Um, so his containment cell is probably one of the most sophisticated things out there. So it's a cell that's suspended in the air by magnets, and it's the cell itself has another layer inside it, which is about I think it was like a centimeter.
Yeah, it looks like lead lined
Mm,
with 40 layers of identical material, each layer separated by 36 centimeters of empty space.
Oh yeah,
That must be a huge containment thing. I'm just
yeah, it's
thinking
big.
math wise. I'm doing maths.
It's
That's
big.
a lot. That's a lot. Um, and then there's uh secondary containments. It looks like spherical cells that are filled with different fluids. Oh, so it's
Yep.
got like an aquarium. That's cute.
So so the thing is about this guy is he can phase through walls.
Oh, that
That's
explains all the layers. That explains
so
it.
he yeah. So they change it up so that he can't figure it out. And in addition to that, he can only phase through one wall at a time. He can't phase through multiple walls. That's why they have that gap there. So even if he does somehow manage to phase through two walls, he still has to go through random bits and bobs, which class as different walls. So he gets stuck in there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it gets
this guy's
confused and
tough.
it delays entry and exit from different structures.
Yeah, this guy is terrifying.
He
So
doesn't like
he
direct light.
no yeah,
Okay.
because they do everything. Just I see because this is the thing. I'm guessing they have tried annihilating these things, or they're trying to research it to understand them more, so they get access to more information about other SCPs. See if there's a correlation. It's just entities like this should not be around people. Period.
Yeah.
Because this guy here will just maim you for funsies.
Yeah, so it appears to be an elderly humanoid. But it's in advanced decomp. Um, a rotting quality is observed in every kind of stage that they see it in. It's not super agile, and it kind of just chills for most of the time while it waits on its prey. I'm using prey in quotes. Um,
Yeah,
then it kind of like just goes really fast and gets people. Um, it damages it damages organs,
yeah. He
muscle
so
groups, tendons.
he will physically aim for these. He'll because he's got a lot of knowledge about it. So he'll go for your organs, your muscle groups, your tendons, just to maim you first, so you slow down. Because he's not trying to consume you or anything like that. I don't think. I think he's just literally hunting you like a cat and mouse situation, except for he's enjoying it a little bit more for
Mm.
like the actual physical pain. Um, and yeah, he'll hunt you down. And if you start running, it doesn't really matter because he'll go through the doors, or he goes through the walls, or he goes through the floor, or the ceiling. He does not care. Eventually, from my understanding, he puts you into a pocket dimension,
Yeah. Um,
which it ain't great because that's where he starts hunting you some more, and it's very distorting in there. But he can freely traverse it. You can't.
yeah, so the
Um,
pocket dimension's got a bunch of halls and rooms. All I can think about is like what is that? There's that one MC Escher. Like I'm thinking of like the different like never-ending hallways and stuff like that. Um,
oh, oh,
I'm trying to think if that's what it is. But it looks like the hunt in the pocket dimension takes several days.
mm,
Um, and it like while you're in there, you're specifically released to free explore so that way it can run you down and recapture you and data expunged, which I appreciate that, but also, oh, no thank you. That's so this is the kind of person, this is the kind of homie you don't want to see ever. Um,
no, no, because if you see this guy, you are in
it's over for you.
serious trouble. Um, yeah, your likelihood of survival is not high. Yeah. Yeah. So he hunts and attacks based on desire, not hunger. Um, he will attack and collect multiple prey items during the hunt behavioral event, keeping many alive in the pocket dimension for extended periods of time. Has no determinable limit, so he'll keep going it until he's like, you know what, 18's enough for me.
Today feels like 18.
Yeah. Oh. In the dimension accessed by 106 appears to be only accessible by 106. Recording and transmission devices have been shown to still operate inside this dimension. Though recording and transmission are very degraded, it appears that 106 will play with the captured prey and appears to have full control of time, space, and perception inside the dimension. And there's some hidden information
Well, I
until.
mean,
Oh
that
my
makes sense.
god.
That makes sense when you're thinking about a pocket dimension in general, like the whole concept,
Yeah,
because it's
he's
not going to
king.
operate on the same structure as this dimension. It's going to be different
Potentially.
warps. The time could be faster, it could be slower, um, and it could be bigger on the inside.
Yeah. So this, because it's 106's pocket dimension, he's king. He's literally omnipotent in this situation. He can make it go faster or slower or whatever he feels like. And it would probably be just to directly mess you up. So, for example, if you like longing for your family, he can probably accelerate time so far in the future that your family have long turned to ash, um, and then just let you out just to see it. You know,
Oh
that's
God.
how mangled he is. Um, oh, right, okay. So he, in the event of, oh, right. So there is so he has got out before in lore wise, and the way they recapture him is awful. Because it's a suit that's followed throughout all the games. In the event of a breach by 106, a human within the age of 10 to 25 will be prepared, and with the comprised containment cell being replaced and restored for use, when the cell is ready, the law subject will be injured, proverbially by the breakage of a long bone, such as the
Oh.
femur. Uh, or the severing of a major tendon, such as the Achilles tendon. Law subject will be placed in a prepped cell, and the sound emitted by said subject will be transmitted over the site public address system. And then 106 will be drawn towards it. And then basically, once he's in there, they just reactivate the cell, and it starts levitating, and all the wall
And if
cavities
it
start doing
doesn't
their
if it
thing.
doesn't start gravitating towards the lure subject, they keep hurting it until
Mm.
it that's fucking awful. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but the, it's a necessary evil in this case because it's either you do it to someone or he's doing it to everyone.
Oof.
Because could you imagine, like, you're just walking down a hallway one day and you're minding your own business and something just grabs your legs and pulls you down?
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's He's fun. He's fun, full of joys. Um, I was actually having a chat about another one to my chat on 939, which is the lizard doggo. Um, this is a strange one. So it's a like 2 meter tall entity. It's very much like humanoid in shape, but the hands and feet are just claws, and the neck area is a array of teeth, and it has no eyes.
Oh.
And its only way that it can detect you is via sound, but it can, and this is the interesting bit, it can imitate the voice of the previous victim, if you can get that.
Oh.
So whoever it attacked last, it can copy their voice and say whatever, and it uses that to lure you or get your attention, and like so that it can hunt you down, so you make a mistake. What what tickles me about this, because I was saying to chat about this, so they've got SCP-939-1, which is the first one. Then they
Yeah.
had dash 3, dash 19, dash 53, dash 89, dash 90. There's 100 of them missing. Where are they?
So, wait. I'm okay. So,
You get what I'm saying? Because they've definitely had some of these. They had 101 at one point, but there's
So there's
SCP-1-3-93-89-96-98-99-109.
so there's
Yeah,
multiple of the same.
yeah,
Oh. Oh.
yeah.
That's that's something like this where there's so many of the same thing. My mind immediately gravitates to cryptid.
To to what?
A cryptid, like a creature that like a creature that may be present in folklore. Like think of like Bigfoot. By the way, for everyone who watched last episode, Whitehall is actually having their Sasquatch festival right now. Ink told me. But no, like think of like
Oh, by the way, they have fit Bigfoot as well.
they have Bigfoot.
They have
We're
Bigfoot.
gonna I want to delve into that in a minute, but something like this where there's so many different ones or like different. Oh, that's so creepy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh wow. So okay.
Yeah, so they do they are. I think what they were saying is that they are pack animals, but they're really so they'll just gnaw you to death, and then they copy your voice. No idea how they do it, so that you like say if you're like a friend of theirs and you hear their voice, you go reach out to them, and then the moment you start making noise, they know where you are,
Let me see
which
if
is
I can
really
find an image of this because
because
I
the
am wondering what it looks
mm,
like.
not great. I
Oh,
think the clown would be a better choice, to be honest with you.
you know,
Yeah.
it might. It kind of looks. It looks like a
Mm.
red chupacabra.
Should be cup.
And the chupacabra is a cryptid. But
Oh my god.
you see what I'm
That
saying,
looks very.
right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It does look like that. It's just the head bit. It's just teeth. Bang. Yeah. So the game we were playing just now, community-wise, is so basically the way it works for the player as that SCP is your vision is black and white, but you see everything. The only way you can define the walls and things like that are like basically outlines. And when people start walking, you can't tell they're there. But if they start doing louder things like shoot you, run around, or jump or anything like noisy, you can see them, and then you can beeline for them. But if they stay still long enough, you've lost vision of them, and it's notorious. But you can talk because they're the only SCP you can talk with, and you can just rock up like round the corner and say, "Hey guys, I'm over here," and people just start running towards you. They go, "Dinner." It's great fun. Never get it
Some
right
of
though.
the big bad ones get classed under the same number due to mix match files. There are like 10 or so SCP-001s known as Doomdays, like the King in Chains. Oh, that is good to know. Thank you. So, hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I did look at one. Because one is a very naughty one. So if you do click it, you have to scroll.
is there a lot?
And the actual it you should see the image. It's very forgotten what it's called, but it's very very beautiful. And I'm sure that's probably not a good thing.
And this is SCP-1?
One. It's one of the gnarly ones. It's the world under one. Oh god, forgive me.
Files have been classified. You have been warned. Okay,
Oh,
so I can't view
ooh.
them.
Oh, it's got one of the special tags. That has not helped me in any way, shape, or form. Um, is an SCP used to contain other SCPs? Oh wow. Okay. So they use that to contain another one? What? Oh, see, this is what happens when I start looking at this stuff. I start going, read, and I don't do reading.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a bunch. So when I try to get into the original SCP, if I click on their foundation site, at first it won't let me go into 001, but if I try to, it like brings me to only one of them.
So what do you see?
So the first thing I see is I go, following files have been classified and I can't see anything.
Right,
And
stop.
then I have
Scroll down.
Kalinins. Oh,
Scroll down.
it's oh. Oh. Uh
Yeah. And
so
they've done something clever here because I've clicked on one and then the information's hiding and then I had to refresh and it's back again.
okay,
Oh my
yeah, I
god.
do see a there's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, meow, meow, meow. Yeah, there's like, it looks like 30 of these.
Mm. No, these are just I'm guessing notations. So they use this for something. Um and it takes you to random pages which look oh, it's oh, that's okay. That's cute. I like that. So certain pages take you certain websites, which are still the same website all in all, but it makes it look like it's another website. So, for example, you can go to Site 120's website, which is really cool. And then it just shows me adverts for like um, sneakers and skateboards. Also, yeah.
Site 100. Okay.
Oh my god, that
Wow.
looks wow.
This is insane. I love how they've done this.
Mm,
I mean, it totally, again, it makes a lot of sense because of how they have everything, like the way they have the world building for SCPs is that
yeah.
it's several sites, a lot of sites, and that this is a completely a different organization that all they do, like, this is their jam. They, like, categorize, classify, contain if they can, and limit interactions with stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so
SCP
like, yeah.
999.
The tickle monster. Fuck's sake.
Now I have to know what that
Oh
is.
god. SCP-999 is allowed to freely roam the facility should it desire to, but otherwise must stay in its pen either between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. for sleeping, or during emergency lockdowns for its own safety. Subject is not allowed out of its pen at night or off facility grounds at any time. Pen is to be kept clean and food replaced twice daily. All personnel are allowed inside SCP-999's holding cell, but only if they are not assigned to other tasks at the time, or if they're on break. Subject is to be played with when bored and spoken to in a calm, non-threatening tone. Oh my good lord. 999 appears to be a large, amorphous, gelatinous mass of translute. Translute. I know this thing! I know this thing! There's.
It's peanut butter?
It's a giant orange slime, and it just. Oh.
It's a little
Oh.
slime!
It's SCP secret. I will see if I can find a picture of it because I had a picture of it earlier. I was like, "What the heck is that?" And then reading upon it, I kind of remembered about it. It's like it's a slime that just sort of cuddles you.
Yeah, it hugs people with its pseudopods and nuzzles the person's face with a third pseudopod, all while emitting high-pitched gurgling and cooing noises. That's really cute. I like that.
Mm.
And apparently, when you touch SCP-999, It gives you a mild euphoria
Oh,
that continues to get less mild and more euphoric the longer you're touching it. Its favorite
interesting.
activity is tickle wrestling, often by completely enveloping a person from the neck down and tickling them until they ask to stop. But it doesn't always immediately comply with the request. It's never been found to purposely attempt to harm people and will immediately back away and contract its body into a quivering mound when gurgling in a manner similar to a whimpering dog, apologizing for hurting someone on accident. Oh, we must protect. We must protect it. This is super cute.
Yeah, if you scroll down a bit more, you've it's had an interaction with the unkillable lizard as well.
Oh God.
Basically, it interacts with it, and then the lizard responds with "What is that?" And 999 moves in front of the lizard, jumping up and down like a dog, while calling out a high pitched squealing noise. And he says "disgusting," and then he immediately steps on it. And completely flattering observers were about to abort the experiment when SCP-682 started talking again.
It
Oh
feels so
god,
happy.
it feels so good. And then, oh my god, it started laughing. Oh no, oh no, it started tickling it, started giggling, and it just kind of liked it.
And then 682 took a nap.
Well, at least they found a way to contain him. Are you attacking people, lizard? Here's 999.
And apparently, after it fell asleep, it two D-class personnel entered the room to retrieve 999. When SCP-999 is removed, 682 immediately wakes up and unleashes an unidentifiable wave of energy from its body, all while laughing maniacally. All persons within the wave's range collapse into crippling fits of laughter, allowing
What?
682 to escape and slaughter everything in its path.
Oh no. So it
That's
basically it
fucked.
adapted itself to 999 and used it.
Oh,
Oh,
that's Trixie.
I like that. That's cute.
That's Trixie.
So yeah, like not everything in SCP is horrendous, to say the least. It's just some things are quite horrible.
So it's a drug SCP drugs. Um,
Hmm.
the old man is God. Huh. I'll just look it up. Look it up. 458's a pizza box of infinity. I want pizza. Hold on. Let me look this up. I am an adult who can do adult things. And that's 458. Man, you could literally do this for I feel like days.
Yeah, like we haven't even gone past like the first series. Like there's 8 series in total, each with 1,000 on them. You know. Um.
So yeah, SCP-458 is a large-sized pizza box from the pizza chain Little Caesars. Not a sponsor, but I'm open to it. Uh, of the hot and ready variety. If you're not familiar with Little Caesars, you can go and get a pizza that's already hot and ready for $5, give or take, depending on your region. I don't know if they have them where you are, Combat, but that's what it is. It's a
Little
pizza.
Caesars.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
you go in and you
Yeah.
buy, yeah, a little murder, just a little bit. Um,
I mean, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I don't even know.
it's
343.
simple
What?
cardboard, and it weighs about 20 to 21 grams, depending on the toppings. What the? As a result of an unusual characteristic, the weight is inconsistent. It appears like an ordinary pizza box, but when it comes in contact with human hands, it instantly replicates within its holder's subconscious preferred choice of pizza, down to the favorite sauce, cheese, crust, and topping. It is not limited to the specific brand, as pizza from all major pizza chains, as well as local and even handmade pizza, have been produced. There seems to be no limit to its ability except that it cannot make anything but pizza, and its toppings must be edible by normal human standards. Um, the box is indestructible, and
That's always a good.
weird, weird.
Right.
So it just makes pizza. So they just pass around the box, and you get a pizza.
Yeah.
Um, there's a note in here. I'd like to remind the staff that just because we have a pizza box that can constantly create pizzas for you does not mean that you can just sit around and eat pizza all afternoon. If continued abuse of the box continues, coupled with reports of personnel gaining unhealthy amounts of weight, I may be forced to implement a mandatory physical training regimen following lunch hours. One of the SCP doctors made that as a little bulletin. That's funny as hell. And they have different results listed for the types of pizza it could be. I wonder what would happen if they gave the pizza box to 682.
I don't know.
Why have they
682.
not
That is a
done
good.
this? Why have they not done this? For science, they should do this.
What? Give a pizza box to the unkillable.
To
You
yeah, the
want to
unkillable
have?
lizard.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Why would you? Hang what? Hang on. Hang on. Which SCP is the pizza box?
It's 458.
458.
Thank you for the number, Giger Hammerhand. I'll pull that one up, and after we pizza box it, I will look into that because I want to.
Human hands. Um. So it might not work on him, but if it does, you do realize you're just giving infinite mass to an entity that can consume that mass and then make itself bigger.
Oh, I guess that makes sense that I shouldn't do that.
You really don't don't make the super strong thing even stronger. You must stop this nonsense. No,
I just want to know what kind of toppings it would like. Is that weird? Is that like it
it's
doesn't
a
have
bit.
to hold on to it forever? I just want
It'd
to know
be a
what
farm.
kind of toppings it wants.
It'd be farmer pizza. Bits of farmer on a pizza. Oh god.
Okay. SCP-343 is the old man known as God. It's a male, seemingly raceless humanoid. Um, that was discovered walking the streets of Prague and detained after a staff member witnessed him disappear from the streets and reappear on a rooftop. It came willingly, as containment proved impossible. So it looks like they,
Mm.
okay, so did it identify itself that way? Is I'm interested to know.
No, so I think members of staff identified him as that.
Okay. And then
Well,
he
for
kept
whatever
walking,
reasons.
he walked through a chamber, the wall of the chamber, and came back with a hamburger. Um,
Oh, it says Bob God, like modern day God. It's
okay.
a bit strange. Oh, that makes strange. Oh,
So he's
oh.
just like a he's like a he's renting a he's renting a flat at the SCP. Only he doesn't pay.
So he's a freeloader. Who can feed himself with burgers, apparently.
I want to know what his pizza topping of choice would be.
Oh god, no.
We've now gone down a rabbit hole I can't get out of.
Right,
Um,
chat, here's a bit of interaction for you. I know this is more of a podcast, but I'm just gonna do this one time. What pizza topping do you think you'll get?
get in the
Let's encourage.
comments.
Yeah, add comments if this is it gonna be on PooTube?
Let's see.
Oh my god, Mr. Fish Van Hallegate. Oh God.
Some of these are wild. I'm looking at that Reddit post I was telling you about.
Oh no.
Let's see.
S- What?
Okay,
It's-
so I tried to see one. Um, SCP-5999 because I wanted to know what it was.
The Uncharted City 599. Yo, it's Euclid as well. It's cluster. Known as to the foundation, every inhabitant of the city matched with the description and name of the person reported missing from nearby city for the last 10 years. And then when questioned, they always said that they lived there and always looking for new. What?
Okay, it's so maybe I'm looking at a different one than you are because I'm looking at SCP-599 and it looks like it's a person's remains that are somewhere. But all of like when you go to click it on the website, it literally keeps telling you to cease and desist every time you go anywhere. Um
Really? 599? Five? Really?
5999. It's in the
Oh, you got an additional 9. That's why. That's my bad.
No worries. I may have not said it because I
That's
sometimes just like don't. This
just to
one's
get going into it.
wild though. It's a lot.
This
Um
is where I died. Oh, good lord. Access in reduced format. Oh
yeah, because if you
lord.
try to do the terminal, it does weird stuff.
Oh
Okay.
wow, this is well cool.
So to answer our question about 343's pizza, we've got spicy meat feast, mushroom and chili flakes. Then we've got cheese, bacon, olive, onion, pineapple with barbecue sauce instead of marinara on a thin crust. Babe, that's literally your pizza order. That's your nice try.
Actually, let's try it. Let's see what SCP's pizza would be, and yeah, let's see for science. Yeah.
For science. It's
Yeah.
for science.
I give points for attempt.
We appreciate it. Yeah, there's a bunch of different. This one's a big one. So you said you were looking at 599 for?
Yeah,
Because that other
yeah,
one is too much reading and I'm lazy.
yeah. Well, this 5999 is
Yeah,
that
like
the
that's
internet
like
has
if I
gone
was
mad.
going to that's its own situation. 599
Oh
is
god.
Euclid. Um and it's a small city
Hmm.
with approximately 700 people and there's a bunch of redacted stuff all over this. It's unmapped. We don't know where it is. Um it came to SCP's attention because every inhabitant of the city matched the description and name of a person reported missing from a nearby city in the last 10 years. All subjects insisted that they had always lived in SCP 599, before invariably adding that they were always looking for new neighbors. Oh, that fuck that.
Hmm.
I'm not a fan of that undertone at all. Um Any Foundation personnel who entered 599 are strongly encouraged by the inhabitants to purchase a new house. Refusal is ultimately met with hostility, but so far, no incidents of violence have been reported. And then there's an amendment. And it's a long, it looks like there's a bunch of several days where someone was there.
Mm.
Their city has no cemeteries, no funeral homes, no mortuaries, headstone makers, no hospitals. Um, so they had to break out of their motel room they were in to escape um, the town. There were broken down cars in the middle of an intersection. So when they were trying to get out, they were seeing all this random shit um, that was trying to impede them from leaving. Okay. Wild.
Mm.
Very like almost like some Stepfordy type situation. SCP-101 are eyes that act like cats. 2337 is a talking bird that responds to the name Dr. Spanka. What? Hold on. We love burbs.
I have
Burbs.
found it. I'm just going to quickly send this to you because I just need a quick.
Um, SCP-2337 is a male corn crate. It's sapient, sentient, and capable of speech. It's loud, 90 decibels loud. Damn.
That's
Um,
loud.
yeah, that's enough to hurt some. It is actually. Yeah, it says even here.
Mm.
To damage people's hearing. But it's friendly. It speaks a language that's tangential to English. Dr. Spanko is its name. Um, it was attempting to make. They tried to figure out what was going on. With it, and then they realized it was trying to make friendly conversation. That's rather sweet.
Mm. Right, BRB 1 second, alright?
Yeah, no worries. Uh, okay. So there's. Thank you for sending me that link. I needed to know that for science reasons. Let's. Oh my goodness. I love these little. These are so cute. I like the bird one. The bird one's nice and not at all scary. Uh, so there's. Let's. I'm gonna pull up another one. So Jaeger Hammerhand, you know a lot about SCPs, it seems. This one's supposed to be scary. Let me take a look.
Oh! Yeah, so I've sent you a link of the video, YouTube video, TV, not TV series, like YouTube
Yeah,
series of like SCP style stuff.
I seen that. I
Although it
seen.
looks like it's not done the appropriate order, but there's all sorts of stuff in there, like
Discord be wild.
a robot that will, well, so that I can't remember which SCP it is, but there's a robot which will try to perform open surgery on you, so it can insert itself into your body and leave, which
Rude.
is awfully pleasant.
That's kind of rude.
Hmm. And there's a what SCP? See, because I can relate to like the SCPs, but I can't remember what like numbers they are. There's a cassette tape that when you hear it, it starts growing like a bunch of plants. Oh, it's 407. Is it 407?
Well, let's see. What
Yeah,
is
it is.
407?
It's a cassette tape. Um, 407 is a song in an unidentified language seemingly sung by a cappella. The voices are thought to be human. The tape containing 407 is found one track approximately 30 minutes duration. Through the abrupt ending suggests that there may be more. Uh, my English is broken.
No
The song
worries.
has the song has been described to all listeners something along the lines of soothing, glorious, beautiful. While 407 is played, rapid cell generation seems to occur with an ordinary radius. Because this is one of the. Because I remember this one. I was like trying to explain. Because it was like before with the cowbell. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. Containing sound is such a ball ache. Um, it seems to occur at the cellular level. It does not require the subject to be able to hear the music. That's even worse. The changes seem to be only affect multicellular organisms first, but quickly begins to affect mitosis in the single cell organisms. So, like bacteria.
Oh.
Oh god. So, oh no. During the first minute of exposure, all multiple cellular life forms become healthier. Subjects suffering from malnutrition, scarring, physical injury, or chronic diseases or other medical conditions seem to become healthy with only a minute of exposure.
Okay.
This is
So,
shown to cure Alzheimer's, cause disease, brain and spinal cord injury, and normal fatal infection or wounds, among other things. Interestingly, cancer does not seem to be affected, though the subject physical condition was still vastly improved.
doctors hate this tape. Click here.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, right. Um,
uh,
during the second, oh, that's in the first minute.
yeah.
Second and third minute of so subject experience unnecessary unrestrained cell growth, manifesting in quickly
Oh.
advancing dermal
Ooh.
growths. These growths seem to be mostly benign tumors. Calcium and fat deposits, which sometimes painful or disfigured, are not life-threatening. Fourth minute, increased bacterial fungal growth occurs, creating conditions that grow increasingly dangerous for exposed life, even in the new healthier states. Respiratory and digestive problems are quick to arrive in most cases and become steady worse as time progresses. Past the 5 minute mark, um, it seems to defer to each trial. In all cases, trace elements of plant or fungus, as well as any animal life present, begin to grow and replicate uncontrollably at varying rates, often shaping into new organisms. So, what I'm
Oh,
to understand
jeez.
is because your body's filled with bacteria, right?
Yeah.
I think it makes your bacteria turn into plants and funguses inside of you.
So can't they just clip it at 1 minute? At 1 minute?
N-
Like,
um, I don't know because I
oh,
don't.
that's so. That's gross, though. That's so fucking gross.
Hmm.
Oh, that means that they had people that they sat in the room for the full 30 minutes.
Yeah, who would have died after 5.
Mm.
I was just wondering because like no, there's no information on what happens if they do the whole 30 minute.
Um.
Because this is the weird thing. I guess you can survive because if they know it's 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Mold adventure results for a second appears to be some sort of whatever fungus noted similar mod to 507 due to the fear of feeling a fate similar to observer. Testing has been limited to only the first 20 minutes of recording. The hell?
Hmm.
Oh wow! Like they actually made someone go through 28 minutes and 32 seconds of it
Yeah.
because that's the end of the tape. Oh wow! They do a step-by-step thing. Subject reports feeling soothed by the music, feels stronger and more invigorated. Liver spots and scars previously are shown to disappear. Subjects appear to have physically grown an inch. Reports intestinal pain. So at 3 minutes 40, they start feeling pain. 4:20 starts vomiting. 450 starts getting growths and rashes. Um, 5.5, they start getting disfigurement, begging for help. Great pain is reported. 6:10, they fall to the ground, cease to move. 6:45, the body is quickly covered in what will be fungal infection, so they're dead.
Yeah, it looks like they died at
7:30,
like in
like
6 minutes.
5. Yeah. Uh, co- Subject is, by this time, unrecognizable, covered in mold, plant shoots, body bursts into banana trees, emerges. So they must have bananas previously. Um, it's interesting. So they grow. Oh, what the hell? 8:45. The plant and fungal growth has begun to spread throughout the testing chamber. 9:30. Several shoot stalks, bushes, even small trees have appeared. Bananas trees is no longer recognizable. Even the tree has become. Oh, what?
So the plant growth keeps happening, but it eventually anything that would go with the plants dies as well.
Yeah, it's just growing too rapidly, and then the fungus is going over it. Um, a large fungal stalk growing for what? Oh wait, what's this? Mediums. What? 17:30 for the last 6 minutes. Creatures made from plant matter have been observed to rapidly generate, grow to maturity, kill and eat other creatures, then be eaten themselves. Creatures increasingly progressive in size and time increases. Medium-sized mammalian creatures are observed. They seem to be humanoid or and bear resemblance in the subject. Large fungal stalks is covered to grow from one of the creatures. Stalk and burst, dispensing white spores. Plant grows still lush, but everything becomes coated in a layer of mold. The plant creature seems to be die slowly from unknown reasons before becoming covered by the mold. The creatures are last to succumb. They're heavily decayed, become covered in the same mold. Bodies are shown to contact expand with, as a breed. Oh, what the heck?
That's fucking foul. And I'm trying to think of myself like, okay, it's not bad. It just made a Bulbasaur.
Yeah, it's just
But then,
yeah.
oh my god,
So you can make this is oh my god, is this considered like the origin stories of Pokemon?
we've done it. We've
They
solved
straight
the internet.
we solved it. There we go. GG. GG. We
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's some really gnarly stuff.
Oh my
It's the
goodness.
what's this? Oh, oh, what is this one? Um, 93 is a primary red disc code from Cinnabar. I don't know. That's a bit way out there. Oh, and they've gone up to the thousands. That's the USB. Ah, here we go. 1360 is a fully is an animated, fully articulated android. Stands at 183 meters tall. Not like 183 meters, 1.83. Weighs 100 kilos, two white PME circles, approximately three, blah, 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 blah. So basically, it's facial features. Um, and this is the one I believe will try to enter your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, which is rather
Because it's
grim.
got it's got tools in its fingertips like Inspector Gadget.
Yeah,
What on
yeah.
earth?
There's so many things on here. Like, I prefer like the first series because there's a lot to it. Like it's been there the longest, so like a lot of it's developed and things like that. But not to say that there ain't some really interesting ones out there. Like, um, oh, which one is SCP? Because there's one. Oh, is it 330? This is. Yeah, it is. Okay, 330. It's a safe one as long as you know how to control yourself. Appears to be a small, round stainless steel bowl filled with a variable amount of individually wrapped pieces of candy. Sweets for people who are English. Taped to the sides of the bowl is a handwritten note reading, "Take no more than two, please!" Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Attempts to remove the note has met with failure, as attempts to hide or obscure it, testers noted finding it impossible to avoid reading the note. Those who approach it from an opposite angle were aware of this request. When a quantity of candy greater than 2 is removed, regardless of the means involved, the offender instantly has both his hands severed at the wrist by an unknown
Oh,
method.
Jesus.
Testing involved remote manipulation by D-class personnel, resulting in the operator's hand being removed despite no direct contact. Inspection of the incision reveals the cuts made by a molecular level, leaving no tool marks or identifying factors. It is noted that the third piece must be removed within a certain time frame. After 24 hours, the count resets. Ah,
Okay, so
I did wonder if you're allowed more than two.
so you get 2 pieces a day. That's it.
Yeah, and you're not allowed breaching the rules, else you die.
It was discovered 3 days after Halloween
Mm,
because
I, yeah.
because everybody's hands were going missing.
Oh
The
my
police
god.
were investigating the
What did you
rash
get?
of dismemberments,
Oh,
and that's when they discovered the candy dish.
oh.
That's dark. That's dark.
That is, yeah. Cause, oh no.
It's the candy bar.
Oh, here's something interesting. A double amputee equipped with prosthetic forearms and hands were told to remove 3 pieces of candy from the bowl. Subject complied with no immediate effect. However, within 45 seconds, subject reported a burning itch from both arm stumps.
Oh.
Right arm 2 centimeters below the elbow, on the left one 1.5. The phantom pains from both of his absent wrists. Subject's distress, how the discomfort increasingly rapidly 180 seconds from having removed the third candy from the bowl. Subject began forcibly removing both of his own prosthetics. Upon hurling the prosthetics to the ground, the subject reported his discomfort has ceased. What?
Weird.
And then, like, they did an examination, found out there was nothing wrong with him. A subject was with fresh prosthetic.
Yeah, they gave
And he
him
felt,
new prosthetics to put on, but it was wrong. But the subject was like, "No, it's wrong to put these on."
yeah. And then they found out that when he did put them on, he didn't put one on properly, on purpose.
Oh, that's so weird. That's so weird.
That is, yeah. But yeah, they don't even tell you what's in the sweets.
Yeah, like, are they garbage sweets or are they
Yeah,
like?
yeah, the absolute poo, or the absolutely lush, or they do something. So, in secret laboratories, they give you random buffs. So, like, they'll give you, like, your skin hardens, or you get higher stamina, or you regenerate, or something like that. And yeah, it's really strange. But on here, like, it doesn't really suggests what it does.
It just
That is
talks
so
about
bizarre.
that's
Yeah, because there's no, like, it's just, I guess it's just literally just random bits of candy.
because if it was those strawberry ones that like everybody's grandma has,
Oh, well, the ones that have been left out in the sun for far too long. Yeah, I know those
they're
ones.
so good.
Not if they've been left out in the sun for too long.
6868 is wholesome. It's a purple rubber duck with social anxiety. The curious thing about it is that when it touches any sort of liquid, the liquid becomes purified and generates pink soap bubbles, which can turn into toys that move on their own. These soap bubbles apparently taste like strawberries. The hell?
Oh,
That
it's a
sounds
little
very cute, but
baby.
also very unsettling.
It's class as safe. Um, oh, it has a danger risk assessment to it, though. Because so some of the like really newer ones like get onto little flashy sites and stuff. Oh, what? I was gonna say it's like I think one of the SCPs managed to get a hold of his phone, but no, it's just. Oh no! Is a sentient rubber duck? So I know there is a series of rubber ducks in this as well.
What?
Um,
Really?
yeah, like that, like you get like a disco duck and things like that. It's really strange, but I don't know if this is related to them at all. Because I don't know if the other one's like a singular SCP with like dash to its name, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Um. Oh no. I'll have to look into that one because there's a lot of information I know of SCPs, but just trying to remember their numbers is just it's next to impossible for me. Oh, there is one actually. Where is that page I had? Where is it? Um. Oh, not that one. Yes, this one. And it was. Is it 220? 2200? Um. Yes, it is. Okay, this is 2200. It's um a sword, 80 centimeters in length, comprised of an alloy of silver and copper. Estimated to have been constructed between a very effing long time ago. It's like 1000 to 500 BC. Um, it's luminous, so it gives off a blue light. Resides. I don't. You know what, I'm not going to read this. But from what I know of it, is it takes your soul, which is rather interesting. If you get slain by it, and I think like the wielder starts getting a bit funky about life as well. Refers to the human individual as currently right, yeah. So bonds with a human being.
Okay.
Uh, it cannot be separated. Any attempts to forcibly remove it from the subject's grasp will result in immediate death. Surgical removal of the hand bonded to the sword will also result in death. Um, when the bearer dies, the sword automatically relocates into another hand of an individual. So it always got to be a master of someone. Um, and then they found out that there's a place. It's they've redacted where it's located in. Whenever a person is killed by the sword, a likeness of the individual is formed out of anonymous silver-based alloy, and they will appear in the town, which is also known as 220-C. Despite being made of inorganic materials, instances of 22004 is fully animate and compatible with vocalization interviews has shown that these 2200-4 are share the personality and memories of the victim that got killed.
Okay.
But because of their metallic composition, they stop aging after their conversation and resistance to physical damage. They do not need to eat, drink, sleep in order to sustain themselves. They may perform these acts if they choose to do so. Instances of these leave the town will cease animation upon setting foot outside.
Okay.
But,
So
oh,
so there you are walking down the street,
mm,
and suddenly blue glow sword is on your hand,
yep, you
and
now bonded to it.
it's you can't do anything. It's there.
You
So
cannot let
then
go
you
of it.
go about your life, um, and during which it looks like you get heightened awareness
Mm.
and a bunch of other cool things that I completely lost place because I looked at it and I looked away.
As a true
Struggles.
true content creator does.
Yeah, of course, naturally. So this is a weapon, and does the weapon make you like use it, or do is like your choice?
Well, so I don't know. It doesn't say. The current. Oh, that's containment. I don't. Um. So the current wielder at the time is a 36-year-old male from British Columbia.
BC.
Um. Oh, we're gonna run through this one. Okay. All right, we're gonna run. So this is gonna be like really badly annotated. So Dr. Stems was interviewing this entity, this individual rather. Going. All right, we're gonna run through this one more time for the records. Please describe the series of events that transpired after the sword appeared in your hand. One minute I was
Oh,
just sitting in my bedroom reading, and then all of a sudden I had this vision. I saw a place where people could live forever. I mean, on an intellectual level, I was aware that I saw what was impossible. But at the same time, I was convinced it was true. And there I knew that I could send people there with a sword.
what was your first course of action?
I waited to. Oh, for God's sake. I waited until dark. I live alone, so nobody noticed me going out in the middle of the night. Whenever I came across a homeless person sleeping alone, I'd slit their throats or stab them in the heart or something like that. And so I went for a new few nights until I got caught by the cops. They turned me over to you guys, and well, here I am.
I see. Anything else you'd like to add?
No. I want to make it clear that I'm not a psychopath. I'm sorry. If you're going around in the middle of the night
I'm
killing
not a
people,
psychopath,
you
but
are
I
a
was
psychopath.
helping them. Come on.
Or anything. I sent those people away because death could have come from any moment. What if they weren't right with God? The way I see it, when I sent them to that place, they're basically guaranteed eternal life. I was eliminating the risk of hell for them. You know, I know it sounds terrible, but I have good intentions. I wasn't really killing them. I was just sending them to heaven, kind of, or at least keeping them safe until the alternative.
Thank you for your time. And proceeds
Okay.
to fuck right off out of that room. Oh my god.
Oh, and this person died
Oh,
because it went to another hand. Um,
okay. SCP-2200-2.082, a 29-year-old female from Washington, USA.
mm,
Um, researcher
God,
Owataka.
I'm glad you could pronounce that.
Um, interview was conducted on date redacted 3 weeks after SCP-2200-2.082 was detained. Begin log. Okay, we're going to be recording this time. If you're ready, please describe the series of events that transpired after SCP-2200-1 appeared in your hand.
I, I'm. This is. I can't help myself.
I believe in you.
I immediately knew that my life was pretty much over because a sword just magically appeared in your hand.
Yeah,
I knew.
obviously.
I knew I couldn't let go of the sword. All my plans for my life, my career, my family, all of it was gone. But at the same time, I guess I had an opportunity.
Were you happy with the situation?
No, God, no. I would have given anything to stop what happened.
So why did you do it?
You don't you don't judge me, not for a second. What would you do if you could keep your loved ones alive forever? My sister died when she was 6, so how can I be sure that my kids won't die young too? Oh no. Oh good god.
Oh my god.
I may have saved them. I hate doing it. It destroyed me. Honestly, after I finished with my family, saving strangers felt like a walk in the park in comparison. God, I still can't believe any of this happened. I'm surprised the police didn't just shoot me on the spot.
That's what usually happens. It makes things much more difficult for us.
If you see my family, please tell them I'm sorry.
I'll pass that on. Thank you for your cooperation. I know these past few weeks haven't been easy for you. End log. What? Okay. So the sword does compel you, but not like red rum, red rum. It
Yeah,
makes you think
it
that you're helping them.
it gives you an image of a better place, and you kind of feel obliged to send people there.
Bing bong.
But
Hello, mom.
it's not quite a better place because you can't die and you can't go anywhere. You don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't drink, and you're like, what do you do?
Just live life being a statue, I guess.
Right?
a little tin man.
Hmm.
Oh my god,
That's so weird. But yeah, there's a lot like this.
that's that's wild. So okay, so that's why it keeps passing to different hands. Is because um the police usually catch them
And then shoot them.
and then shoot them. Hashtag America. Um,
Fuck yeah.
it's it's not wrong.
Mm.
Oh my god, that is okay. So you're walking down the street, living your life. Bam, blue shiny sword shows up in your hand, and suddenly you're like, you know what?
I'm a
I
Jedi.
could save everyone right now. I can do it. So then you go
Mm.
about quote unquote saving everyone that you can think of, like, I'm gonna help you change your life today. All I need is for you to sell Amway, and I'm kidding. Like, um,
Oh, hang on a minute. I didn't read that bit.
no, it's like a multi-level marketing scam, but with sword. So then you do that, and then you inevitably you die, whether by cop or what have you happens.
Mm.
The sword goes somewhere else, but you go to this one town and become the Tin Man. And if you try to leave the town, you become a tin statue.
Yeah, you die. Well,
That's
your reanimated body dies.
that's so. But where
Mm.
do the people that you were saving go? Because
They
they don't
die.
go to the town.
No, the bodies are dead.
Right, exactly. So they go into the sword. Is there like a pocket
I,
dimension in the sword?
it might, yeah. So it could be a variety of things. It could be um
They go
your
to IKEA.
consciousness. Yeah, they go to IKEA, and then your consciousness immediately turns into a tin body, and then gets sent there.
That
Or you just die there and then, and the sword makes a copy of you. But then that's just going into sort of
that's a lot of.
yeah,
That's
heavyweight stuff.
this is some wild.
But who comes up with this? Honestly,
So it looks like the sword actually chooses. It's not like a random lottery draw. The sword has specific. If the sword's got a type.
ooh, I
The sword
see.
has a type, which is between 15 and 45 years of age, physically active, um, people with a strong fear of death, with a negative outlook on what happens after death, and that they're unstable psychologically or emotionally. Which, if you're a 15-year-old, like you just turned 15, and you're in the
Yeah.
throes of
Mm.
puberty, like that's kind of messed up. That's
Yeah, you're gonna.
awful.
Yeah.
Oh, never had a chance. Oh my goodness. I found another one that I thought was interesting.
Mm.
We're gonna sideline away from the scary sword. Um, scary
Yeah,
sword.
because apparently, like gruesomeness hasn't been enough yet.
We're gonna go to a happier place. Maybe we're gonna find out.
Back to the
S
clown. Yeah.
SCP-453. Um, it's a nightclub located somewhere in Italy. It's
Hmm.
owned and operated by the Foundation. Every night, a random assortment of civilians from adjoining municipalities, they come to the club. The nights start out pretty much the same as any nightclub. However, over the course of the night, um, the civilians that come in fall into roles, quote unquote, in a documented sequence of event scripts that Foundation operatives have that work that. The civilians will depart the club and return home, maintaining only partial memories of the night. Um, all surviving civilians leave before 4 a.m. So I'm trying to figure out. So what does it do? Okay, so basically there's specific scripts that happen. So if you go into the club throughout the course of the night, you end up falling into a role Like it replays different events. Like there's a script called The Cheating Wife, The Senator's Visit, uh, The Plurality Cult. Like there's a bunch of these different scripts that go on. So as you're there, the more nightclubby you have, nightclubby. Um,
Yep.
yeah. And some of these are not as bad as others, but some of them, like here's the Senator's Visit. It looks like it starts out, then the civilian shows up. We'll have 13 people with them, who will have weapons. Then there's an assassin, an activist, a bunch of people, and it looks like someone gets killed. People get killed. Things happen.
People died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people died. Um,
People died.
but
What a surprise!
it's all it's so yeah, all this stuff happens, but like the way it works is that it's the building itself that's doing it.
Mm.
So it's gonna happen whether it's there or not. So the staff for SCP, um, they go in to work at this bar. You
Yeah.
joined a secret foundation. Turns out you're still a bartender. Sorry, John. Um,
Oh no! Why does everyone else get to change? Oh.
so there's 4 bartenders, 6 bouncers, uh, 4 cleaners, a doctor, 4 EMTs, and 2 observation personnel at all times. There's also going to be 10 or more staff that are kept on standby in an adjacent outbuilding that's connected via basement access. Um, so they have again a list of known scripts, and because it keeps happening, so they have their employees memorize the scripts, so that way they can keep it going and try to limit the damages to people.
Yeah. I think it's so they can understand it more, but I think they probably got to 82 and stopped because people started dying.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
It's too good of a place to let the D class go because they're lower end scum, and it's too dangerous for the important people to go.
Yeah.
So they just went, sod it, not anymore. Oh my. Despite security's God. Because yeah, script 82. So they must know that there's other ones then, right?
Yeah, they've got I saw a list of a couple, but it's wild.
Mm.
That's
It's so
filthy D
strange.
class.
Filthy, filthy.
Oh, I'm sorry, chat. I didn't mean to ignore you.
I
Um,
did.
I did. Wait, I'm between 15 and 45. Physically active. Phew, almost had me. Um, Rubber
So
ducky.
that was about the swords. Oh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, these are. So again, there's like thousands of these.
Mm.
Like if you go to eight, the 8 series, it looks like 8 series. They've got up
A
to
few.
7999.
So they've got a lot there, but they also have a lot of access to 9, which I'm suspecting it's basically people making new ones.
Oh, so they're trying to like, huh?
Yeah, that's like loads of stuff. But I think because you've gone up to like what 7,000, I mean originality is going to get a bit
Yeah,
harder. And also they're making their pages very, very eccentric as well.
yeah. It's a wild thing. And again, there's so much here. These are huge archives. And because it's almost like a crowdsourced project, that they're just taking these from the internet. I mean, and now that they've got like a specific place, um,
Yeah, because bear in mind the most that we've gone through in the last what 2 to 3 hours so far, primarily have been from the first series. Like, there's been
yeah,
a few that's gone away from that, but yeah, there's just so much out there, and like most of it is pretty much grim. You do have the like cute and cuddly one like 999 where it goes off and hugs things, but even then, evil lizard doggo, you abused it. Made an attack of a wave of happiness and started mauling and butchering people.
yeah. No, your
There's no such
standard
thing as
stuff.
happiness. There's no happiness here. Um, what else was there?
So I have one other one that I had pulled up, and then it
Mm-hmm.
looks like I just wanted to, because I was like, because this is an ever growing fan work essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can actually they have an open. It looks like an open licensing agreement under Creative Commons, so anyone else can copy and profit off of anything SCP related as long as there's proper attribution,
Yes.
which is probably why they have so many SCP video games. Um,
Good. Yeah. It's yeah. As long as like you like they get the um credits as deserving as they should be.
Absolutely, which
Because
is what you should do.
yeah, because I know they so Peanut was one of the big ones that they had some actual technical problems with because the people who made Peanut actually did a naughty. So I was looking into this. So the basically there used to be a picture on the website where it had this concrete-looking entity standing in a room with like say lockers in the corner. What from my quick glance, because I didn't totally look into it, but from a quick glance, it looks like they used that picture, but the person that it belonged to said they couldn't use it for commercial use or things like that, so they had to take it down shortly afterwards. But it's been up there for like years and years and years and years, you know, and then suddenly they had to bring it down. It's like I have a feeling like because all this money was going like because Peanut is a very common one. There's like
Yeah.
is a very well known one, and the fact that there's a lot of that stuff going around and the person's not getting any recognition for the photo, I think he was just getting a bit gnarly about life, which is understandable.
No, for sure.
So yeah, they told him to take it down, and that's why because at one point all the SCPs had the same looking model, and suddenly they changed them all to several different looking things. So the secret laboratories has like this big hulking monstrosity made of concrete. Another game has one that looks more streamlined, but like quad pedaled. You know, like there's different variations of it now because there's nothing to base the image on anymore. Which is sad, but I can totally relate, and well, not relate. I can understand.
You can relate.
Hmm. Yeah, because I make art all the time, and people take claim for it all the time. I should be like a multinational millionaire by now, but I just keep letting them getting away with it. I should stop.
Out of the kindness of your heart.
Oh no, no, there's no heart here.
It's at this point we realized Combatdude is actually a Tin Man. No, I'm kidding.
Yep, really, I'm actually Tim. I haven't left this place for 15 years.
In
Let me
20
out.
fucking years, mate. Honestly though,
Mhm.
the art thing and like attributing, I don't draw very well. Um,
Um,
I can,
yeah,
I don't like, the thing that I relate to most is like when you're writing a story and it gets scooped. Um, which is when you're excited and you're talking to another person about like the story concept you're
mhm.
doing, and either they directly steal your work
Oh
or
wow.
they change it a few minor things to avoid getting slapped with a copyright lawsuit and then
Mhm.
publish it. And then at that point, if they publish you first, because how publishing works is they're going to take courts are always going to look at who created this thing and made it publicly available first.
Wow.
So that's a thing, and you see that not only with like regular books and like news articles or anything like that, but you'll also see it with like children's stories. It's really common. There was a thing about um Finding Nemo where the guy who wrote a story very
Yeah.
similar to that, there was a whole like up in arms about the mouse using Finding Nemo as a movie. And this person's like,
Mm.
well, I wrote a book about this. The name was different, but like it's the same concept. And it was like an actual like they took this to court. The mouse took this to court to fight it.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, they would.
yes. And of course everybody knows who I'm talking about when I say the mouse.
Yeah.
Combat
Don't
must
say the
never
word.
escape.
I'm not allowed to leaving, because I don't let no one else leave. Yeah, no, I had heard about that story. Um, the dappy thing is, they are notorious for stealing stories.
It's true. It's valid.
Like, there's no like, Ariel used to be a myth legend or something like that, where and it was a lot grim, by the way. Like, Ariel is cute and cuddly. The variation that used to be was about like some mermaid who wanted to walk on land, but had like these heinous handicaps put on her, like she can't talk, she can't
Yeah.
do this, that,
We
and the other,
actually
like, you know.
covered I want to say it was like episode 4.
Mm.
Thrall Owen and I were talking about like children's stories and how they're not like the originals are not very as
No,
cute as they are now. Um,
no.
and with like the Little Mermaid, like she doesn't get the guy in the end. She gets turned into sea foam.
Yeah,
It's a whole bunch of wild stuff. Yes,
yeah.
Hans Christian Andersen. Um, and then there's also a good selection of the stories being taken from like the Grimm's fairy tales type deal, and those are wild and messed up. But like you can't market that kind of like how they are originally.
No.
Um, like to a wide variety. You have it as an issue because something that like in a country in a specific culture, like okay, this is not super bad. This makes sense to me. Will not translate into another culture or another language or another like countries. Like this makes sense. Like case in point, like the little stories, like the fables that they teach you in some parts of the America, or like in certain cultures or nations, it doesn't match up if you tried to put it somewhere else. Or
Mm.
like stories they teach to children in Germany to be like be a better person don't translate other places very well. It's like, why is that kid getting beat? Oh, because he wasn't nice. What? Like, it doesn't make sense. This is not me picking on Germans at all, but like, that's kind of why I think they changed it.
Yeah.
Just for
But
like that type of reason. Like, it doesn't, to make it
I,
translatable, relatable,
I,
and marketable.
yeah, I think it was more mainly marketable. Let's just be fair, because they made it so it's easier for people to digest it, and then that just doubles up as marketable and then sellable and
Yeah.
then
I mean,
profit.
I personally find it relatable when mice,
Most.
mouses, um, when they, sew my garments up for me and
Mm-hmm.
turn into horses to bring me to a dope ass party. I relate to that very well.
Yeah,
So,
and there was that one time when I was growing pumpkins, and this weird lady came round and then just waved a stick around and it turned into a carriage. That just that
did
that
you ever
just
get your
happens to me
pumpkin
every
back?
Tuesday now. No, just bug it off with it.
Rude.
Yeah,
Disrespectful, even.
but yeah, totally relatable. It happens to me all the time. But yeah, it is basically that. Like they have clearly known to be stealing stories, and they get away with it. And now that they're like a super powerhouse in this sort of industry, yeah, they can throw money to make the problem go away now.
I saw a meme many years ago before they acquired Fox and all the other things where it was like a breakdown of like this is what the mouse will take over and like by year 2150 they'll like rule half of the world. And I
Mm.
was like, don't speak that into existence. We don't want that type of thought form.
Not yet. It's yet to happen.
Hans Christian
Yeah.
Andersen was notorious for staying with friends longer than appropriate. He would just show up to be there for 3 days and would stay 5 weeks. Wow. Good friends though. I
Hmm.
don't know if I would just let somebody chill. I have one more, and then I want to switch focus.
Sure.
Okay, this is a Keter class, which is a bad boy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's one of the higher up ones. They will cause problems if they start walking around.
It's 1104, and
Okay. That rings a bell.
it should. It should. Um, this is a species tentatively identified as a member of the order of uh Chiclaterata, I think is how you would say that.
Kuna Matala?
Means no worries for the rest of your days.
Sorry, I had to.
Mouse, don't come for me. Don't come for me.
1104, yeah?
Yeah, so the life
Oh
cycle
my god.
has two phases. The first being larval, where it's approximately zero point 0.4 millimeters in diameter, at irregular intervals. The larval form will expel it looks are expelled from larval tubes within Site 104 at concentrations of 200 individuals per cubic meter. These remain airborne for as long as 14 hours and have been documented to travel X amount, it's redacted, of kilometers under favorable weather conditions. When inhaled, larvae will adhere to nasal mucosa, where they excrement
No.
an array of H1 receptor antagonists to suppress both local inflammation and implantation of further. This is literally SCP response to like pollen.
Mm.
That's messed up. It reduces inflammation, so you can get more in. Over the period of 6 to 8 months, SCP-1104 will grow and extend appendages through the host's um, ethmodial, don't know what that is,
Um,
canals. I'm assuming it's in your nose, because so far it's a lot of nose stuff.
so
Um,
any medical peoples about help? Oh god.
uh, Hosts generally remain unaware of their presence, apart from persistent but non-specific headaches. On maturation, 1104 will begin applying pressure to the host's optic nerve. Gonna just throw
Here we
this.
go.
If you have an eye thing, just gonna throw this in case if you have a thing about like body shit happening. Just letting you know now.
Trigger. Oh no.
I have a trigger warning. Um,
I
so
am a trigger
as
warning.
I identify as a trigger warning. Yes. Um, so it'll apply pressure to the optic nerves, causing obstruction of central visual field. This pressure is applied selectively when the host is not oriented towards a local gradient of atmospheric hydrogen sulfide. I don't know. I don't understand what that means.
that's
Those are
that's
words. Yep.
they are words.
1104 can detect through the host's inhalations. After an initial period of distress, the host will begin to prefer to face and travel in directions where they do not experience visual disturbances, um, tracing the source of hydrogen sulfide. Upon reaching a zone of sufficient sulfide concentration,
Oh no.
um, 1104 projects appendages into the host's prefrontal cortex, causing unconsciousness during which SCP-1104 exits the host via the ocular cavity. After leaving the host, SCP-1104 attempts to locate and enter the source of the hydrogen sulfide, such as the lava tube or sewer pipe. 1104's subterranean life cycle has not been documented. Although humans display the same instinctual aversion as any animals to visual disturbances caused by 1104, the behavioral response is not a compulsion, and hosts may defy the influence, especially if informed of the nature of SCP-1104. That subsequent hostility towards research personnel should be anticipated. Attempts at surgically removing or poisoning a fully developed 1104 result in immediate uh, elicitation of the exit process. Post exit host exhibit complete. I don't know what these words mean. Please stop hurting me. Internet, please stop hurting me. I'm just trying to figure out what this means. What are you saying? Tell me like I'm 5.
Elicit is the definition to reveal information or to act.
Yeah, so
Presence of what you hope.
aspontaneity, so they don't, so after everything gets done, they don't respond to stuff. Like
Mm.
they're cuz they have brain damage.
So they have what now?
Drain damage, where as the things were in
That's
their
the one.
brain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's fucking gross. Thank you whoever sent that to
Hmm.
me. I love you. Um,
Wow.
but
Whoever
yeah.
that was. Yeah, so I did look up hydrogen sulfide. Very lovely stuff, won't lie. Um, so if I do recall, hydrogen sulfide, sorry, brain, do the work. You got this.
You got
Um, what does duty body? There it is. Where is it found? It's is also naturally occurring in sewers, manure pits, water wells, oil and gas as volcano. Um, if I do recall, this stuff is very nasty.
yeah.
Uh, so there was this story, whether it's true or not, I'm not 100% sure. But there was like an expedition sort of thing, and this crew was just walking across this rock near a volcano. Not an active volcano, but there was a volcano there. The lead guy stopped, knelt down to do a shoelace. He never got back up because hydrogen sulfide, sorry, is extremely poisonous, and
Yeah.
once he inhaled it, he died just doing up his shoelaces. So
It's
you don't want to be near that stuff.
no, I mean it's like it's swamp
Mm,
gas essentially. So like
yeah,
in a little bit it's not going to be like I'm going to die, but in a lot of it,
yeah, you just stop you
yeah.
stop functioning because
Um
it's a lot more dense there, so it usually settles to the bottom anyway.
yeah, so when you went honestly I find that to be plausible then.
Mm,
Um I mean OSHA has specific OSHA. We love OSHA.
oh
Um
shit.
OSHA it's the thing that keeps workers safe. They have rules so that way you don't do a stupid and get hurt. Um
Oh no, we don't have that. We
yeah,
just have
so
health
they
and
have
safety.
basically they have OSHA inspectors who go around to different workplaces to make sure it's safe.
Mm,
Um basically they have rules where if the levels of hydrogen sulfide are more than 100 parts per million, it's they consider an immediate danger to life.
really?
They
That level?
they're like you have to have your own like auxiliary air supply and you have to have face piece to make sure you're like mask with air to make sure you're safe. Um and if without that you're not doing that, workers that are working in areas of that, they have to be monitored for overexposure signs on top of having all that stuff. And there's a note here to
What?
never attempt a rescue in an area that may contain hydrogen sulfide
Mm,
without using all the appropriate respiration protection and
mm-hmm.
without being trained to perform such a rescue. Like, you have to be specialized for them to, like, it's not like, oh, there's a burning building, I'm gonna save a baby. Like, for this, OSHA will
I,
find people, like, they will shut you down. It's a whole bunch of things. But
I
for
suppose,
OSHA to
yeah.
have a specific document detailing these are the rules, don't fuck with it. For me,
Yeah.
that in of itself, if I knew nothing else, the fact that OSHA has weighed in on this, and I'm like, yeah, no, you should not mess with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the means to identify like a hydrogen sulfide because it's
Oh, it's the rotten
from
egg
what?
smell. It's like swamp gas.
Yeah, but if you're smelling it, it's a bit late.
That's true. That's true. And like, what are you gonna do? Like, oh, that's rotten egg smell. I'm gonna go towards it. Don't do that.
Panic! Breathe harder. What's the
Occupational
worst that can
Safety and
happen?
Health Administration. Thank you. I couldn't remember what it stood for. I just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we don't have none of that, as far as I'm aware, anyway. Our health and safety tends to go like, did an accident occur? Yeah. Was it stupid? Yeah. Put it on the paperwork.
I just think of like when you're working in a factory, and someone's like, "Come with me, and you'll see we're in a world of ocean violations."
Oh god.
Like I'm gonna use this ladder, but lay it across a thing to walk on the ladder. But I'm holding both ends up with ladders. It'll be safe. No, it's not.
Oh,
Like,
you want to talk about stupid health and safety things? I do have one in my previous workplace. So we used to have like a little, what we called wheels. So it was a little small flatbed tray. It was designed to hold other trays on top of it, and you could just roll it across the floor with ease. Someone got one of them, put a box on it, stood on the box to try and change the radio.
oh my
Um,
God, combat.
they fell off. Ironically, they fell off this very unsturdy.
Who could have foreseen this? Who could
Oh,
have foreseen?
anyone with a basic understanding that falling over happens. But no, that's the level of intelligence of that particular. Oh, pardon me, of that particular place. I've got the hiccups now. Drinking too much Pepsi. Oh,
I
oh,
used to work in a factory that made car parts, and they were very
oh.
like, if you have a bin of car parts and it's in a bin, you can't move it without a dolly or not a dolly. It's the thing you slide under. Can't remember the name of
Um,
it, but
yeah,
you had to use that or you had to get a forklift. But forklift drivers were doing other stuff, so I would
yeah.
just start dragging these things and push them everywhere. And they'd be like, "Well, you could get hurt," and I was like, "Bro, I don't have insurance to this place. Like, I was going to get hurt anyways. Like, let's be real. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine." I actually lost a bunch of weight at that job, and gained a bunch of muscle tone because I was so beefy and like refused to wait for a forklift driver. I was like, "I got it done now. Get this stuff done now." But yeah,
Yeah,
in
right.
hindsight, that was a bad idea. Don't do that. Be safe. Be smart. Use your
Yeah,
street
be safe.
smarts. Use your street smarts, everyone.
Absolutely, dude. Like the first person who's responsible for your health and well-being is you.
Yes.
Don't blame everyone else for it. If you put your finger in the plug socket and got electrocuted, that's not the plug socket's fault. That was
Yeah.
you.
Don't try to like tell us it's because you're a toaster. That's not gonna work.
Yeah. Oh God! Don't stop with the
The
toaster.
toaster one is so.
Oh no.
But I am a toaster.
Toaster. Oh no. Well, I wonder what you're doing later on.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's. I don't have any other ones for SCP. Again, they're super. There's a lot. I think like we'd have to do like probably do a spin-off series going over these. That's why I think it's so like a lot of like YouTube channels do like the little cartoon like explanations of what they are, like they go through the stories because there is just so much of it. And there's again all those offshoots of the video games because it's common use as long as you
Hmm.
attribute, which you should. If you're using someone
Yes.
else's art, please just like let everybody know who did it. Like that's just common sense to me.
That's yeah. Just
And if
yeah.
you wanted to join the SCP Wiki, it looks like
Oh,
you
dude.
have to become a new user, create a Wikidot account, um, and then you apply to be a member, and they do all of that. Um, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that.
Hmm.
This is very good.
Yes.
I really appreciate you popping on to chat about this. Do you have any other
Yes, right.
final hot takes about the
There
SCPs we
is
talked about?
Right, so there is one thing interesting with what you just said there. So there was one person who came up with a quote-unquote SCP. It's not official, it's not canon because it's not on there. Called Siren Head. It's like a 50-foot monstrosity that's literally got sirens ahead. It feels like an SCP, but it was never put into the SCP logs because it never went through the proper channels. Fun fact. That's
Huh.
all I got.
So,
That's all I
so
got.
wait, does that mean it's not an SCP or it is?
It's it's not an SCP, but it feels, acts like an SCP.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Mm.
Now I wanna know.
It's really annoying entity as well because it just makes siren noises at you, and then it starts chasing you down, making more siren noises at you. Oh god, I
It's the
remember.
fanfic.
It's the fanfic on fanfic. It's like, what? How does
That's
this work?
listen, it's turtles all the way down. Makes sense to me.
Mm.
Siren head, more like siren friend. Exactly, Miss Biggest. Pardon me, I'm gonna drop into a tub now.
Oh, why?
Potato
Oh
why?
no!
Potato
Why?
why?
That's not what toasters do.
They make toast. Yeah,
Yeah, they
toast.
make toast not going to the tub. Put some bread in you. God. I wonder if
Even
people
those
die from
little
choking
Pop
bread like that.
Tarts. Little Pop
Oh
Tarts.
god. They do now. What? Dickers, no, that's not how it works. If you're gonna
They
if you're gonna
do
start
now.
throwing if you're gonna start throwing bread into your tub, don't complain to me that it's soggy.
We like firm toast in this life. Please.
Right? I like crispy, lovely stuff.
Exactly. Well,
It's zombified.
God, they actually, on a complete side note, and I
Oh
love whoever
no.
came up with this. They actually have bath bombs that look like little toasters. They're like you can fit in the palm of your hand. And its name is the last bath bomb you ever need. Like somebody actually made that took that really dark haha and turned it into a thing that they're selling. Um which I want. But it's
You'd
fine.
be very.
But
What?
SCP's very thank you. Thank you, babe, for posting that fucking link.
Oh my good god.
What is happening? I'm taking a sexy bath in my toaster, no question our love. But for real, oh my god, they're sold out. I bet. Whew.
Hashtag not sponsored.
They're not sponsored, but
No.
y'all know where my email is. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. So yeah, SCPs. There's a lot in there.
There's a
I
lot
know
of
we
stuff
talked
on
about a lot of different things. It's cool that they have some cryptids within their lore. Like that one that looked like a red chupacabra but with more teeth.
there. Mm-hmm.
The fact that they've
Way
got
more.
Bigfoot.
Yep.
That's a lot of
They have big.
yeah, it's explained.
Oh, hello.
It's been solved. Um, but yeah, I really appreciate you hanging out today with
Yeah, it's been
this.
great fun. Thank you for having me. It's been
Of
an
course, I
interesting
know that
conversation.
this was actually again it was a fan suggest. Somebody specifically asked for us to talk about this. Um, so I also like towards the end of these, I like to do a little thing. I know you do the community streamings with the SCP that you did today.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
During the first part of this, which was phenomenal, by the way. It
Oh
brought
my
the
god,
correct
thanks.
chaotic energy. We love to
Oh,
see it.
you'd have no idea what hassle I had to go through. Dickus. Dickus.
But that's why I
Dickus.
don't have sound alerts, OBS sound alerts on during Spooky Saturdays, so y'all can't get me. I also need to actually do stuff with my sound alerts because I don't think I have any except for a couple of them.
Mm.
I know the
Yeah,
hassle.
they're
I was
good.
watching.
They're good. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so you stream on Twitch. I know you have a YouTube channel that you haven't done anything with in for a while,
Not
from my
really, yeah.
understanding. Um,
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Excuse me, these sounds are just my cat dying slowly.
oh
Sorry.
no, is the cat okay? What's happened to the
Yeah,
cat?
he just has these moments where he starts just coughing.
Oh,
He might throw it, he might not. Hopefully he doesn't, because I like this blanket. Um, yeah, it's been quite an experience. I'm not gonna lie. Probably
Moscow
rise.
Moscow gets Moscow gets sneezy, where she'll have
Mm,
several sneezes, and then because she's had so many like back to back, she starts doing like this weird huff, and then she's
yeah,
fine. And it's like, at first I'm like, oh no, the cat's hurt, but that's just her life. That's her struggle. She's okay.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. He's alright. He needs to stop now.
so do you have any upcoming like projects that you're gonna be doing on your Twitch?
Oh, lots actually. So I've currently got a community server going on for Ark. I'm gonna have Tekkit 2 coming up soon. Also been thinking about doing Gary's Mod TTT once a month as well, like to sort of split, because waiting a whole month for SCP is a bit grueling, and people, from what I can understand, people get a bit bored with SCP. So having something else to take its place would be a smart thing to do.
If you do
But
TTT, I will actually get Gary's mod.
yep, carry
I'm
on.
telling you right now.
I
And I
have
will
every
insist that
intention
you
of
include me.
it. You'll insist on
I
including,
will
yeah.
insist upon it. Oh
Yeah, it's
man.
just going to be a big question whether it be the original TTT or like some of the variants that you get, such
Yeah,
like
because
having
they've
like
got
different
several, I
classes.
think, different packs for it.
Hmm. And then, of course, that if I do that, then there's the whole you can have your own custom skins and all sort. It'll be a roller coaster,
It'd be
and I think it'll
wild.
be a good experience. Good experience for people.
Yeah. So Tekkit 2 Electric Boogaloo, you've got
Hmm.
the Arc server going up, and you're gonna
Which is
continue with the
going great.
community gaming stuff.
Yeah,
So
and
if
then
y'all
just
are watching and you're not already uh following Combat, you should get in on that.
yeah, press the button. And what? And
Click it.
also,
Click
can
the
I
button.
say
There's
that if
also the combat cord right there that zombie's thrown up. I'm assuming it's fine. We're just gonna do it. It already happened.
yes, Dickus, yes. Also, I'm still waiting for my 500 follower thing to do a subathon. So,
So what I'm
just press
hearing
that button.
is you should follow. So we can
Follow. Press that button.
do it,
Do
do it,
it.
do it, do it, send it.
What are you waiting for? Just do it.
If not,
Make.
report me to a mod here. Really?
Oh my god. OBS. Why?
Zombie is my husband, and also my mod,
Yeah.
and also my man in the van.
I'm here in combat. That's. Yes. That's. Yeah. I hear that too, Dickus. Yes.
Weird, weird. You should
Mm,
follow. But
definitely.
yeah, I'm very pumped to see what's going on with that. Arc was free on Epic. I think it still is.
It still is until the 29th. So you still got 5 days.
Yeah, I feel like I claimed it yesterday.
Yeah, I
Um
just I hear a lot of excuses why people. It's really bizarre. You get these free games and people go, "Nah, I don't really want to play that because of the." Just do it. You only hate it the once.
it's true. But there's a game we started playing for community night over at the guild. Goose Goose Duck. When they first
Yes.
came out with it and someone was like, "We should play this game." I fucking hated it. I hated it so bad. And now I'm just like, look, I can make my duck look cute, and it has a picnic basket.
Oh no.
So now it's a serious.
Oh.
We actually have community night later tonight, and I don't know what we're playing because I did a shit job at organizing this week because I thought someone else would do it, and then I realized
They didn't.
this morning, as I was becoming a sentient human being, I was like, oh fuck, I haven't done that. Oopsie doodle.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know the feels. I do know the feels. Sometimes life just gets the better of you once in a while. That's all.
Except in Phasmo, I'm too busy trying to get Zero Sanity to be in the van. For real, this man's a mad lad. He really is. Arc, it's more like 234 gig. Oh, is it space? Is that the issue that people have?
That for Arc, yeah, for that's hard drive. I don't want to download it. It would take ages. Just do it. You have to. It's not that big. Like, it's a free game. Just do it. Try it once. If you don't like it, then move on. Happy days.
Exactly. And if you do like it, you can keep it there.
Right.
I have a thing where I only have games that I actively play installed. If I do something new for
Oh,
like a stream or if somebody wants to play it with me, I'll download it. And then when we're done playing, if I don't like it, I will uninstall that shit
oh,
immediately.
I don't. I'm actually awful. Because where I built this machine, I have equivalently. Let me just find my thingy. I have 4 terabytes of hard drive space on SSDs. So I can pretty much have the entirety of Steam collection on here at the moment. It's a work in progress.
I need to confirm because right now what's taking up a lot of my hard drive space is Spooky Saturday episodes. I
Hmm.
think I have because I have my computer's name is Percival because I have
Okay.
well no like imagine you ever saw the BBC Merlin.
Bits and bobs, yeah.
All right, so this dude, I think his name's Tom Collins. He plays Percival, and he's like this big, beefy dude. Because his muscles are so big, they couldn't
Hmm.
actually physically get the character into regular chain, like regular mail for it.
What?
So they actually have a tank top shirt of mail, and his arms are out of it.
Yep.
So that's why I named my laptop Percival because he's a beefy boy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so subsequently, my external hard drive I named Lancelot because it's little. Um, I will be taking no questions, no follow up questions on that. I just felt like you needed that information for your life, and now you have it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So what's this? I hear you only have like a 512 gigabyte SSD. What's this
Yeah,
about?
maybe I don't know. I don't fucking know. Me, I'm a professional. Let me see. Actually, I have no idea. PC. Yeah. So after OS, it's like 476 gig. It's little.
Oh my
It's a little boy. I think I have a terabyte. Tero. What?
god. Tarot. Oh,
Oh
okay.
no, I got the hanged man. No, I have a
No.
terabyte of on my external on Lancelot. I need to get another because I think I even have a bay for another drive. I just haven't been bothered to fuck with it. Is that bad? Like I just don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, you haven't done your community night stuff. Um, you barely woke up in time.
Yeah,
Couldn't even be asked to make coffee.
I don't. No, I make him do that because we have a fancy coffee pot. Um, and apparently when I do it wrong.
Mm, yeah, that's fine.
So
Mistakes are made.
I
Mistakes are
guess
nothing more than
I
free
was told I
education.
put too much coffee in it, which I didn't think was a problem.
I can't see that being a problem.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought it
I
was
mean,
fine.
It's just changing the ratios, right, to something you
Yeah.
prefer.
Like tachycardia, who is she? I don't know.
Mm, right.
But need to get a home server set up at some point. Yeah, we have that. We actually have what is it? It's the bay for it where you can load in everything for it. It's the hull of it. The hull, like it's a ship.
Server.
It's like a server thing, but you have like this places to put the drives, but there's no
Oh,
drives in it itself. So it's everything except for the drives
oh, right.
itself.
That's oh no, that sounds well cool because I would love to get one of those, but I just have nowhere to put it.
Well, Zombie found one. He does this thing where he'll like go out on an adventure and he'll come back and be like, "I found stuff," and I'm like, "Why do you have stuff?" I
Oh,
think he
what?
got it from a store, a secondhand store, but it was a really good find. He got it for a great deal. But then it was like sitting in my house. And I was like, "Why is this here?"
Mm,
He's like, "I could use it someday." And I'm like, "When is someday?" And he's like, "That's a good question." And I don't have an answer for you. So eventually we'll get there.
well, here you got an answer now. You got like video files to save. You can put it on the server. Think about it.
It's true. It's
Um,
true.
I mean, the only thing I've ever found off the streets is a bloody trumpet, and I found it in the bin.
Please tell me you sanitized it.
Yes, I sanitized it. It was the first thing we did. We're not
Did you?
baboons.
I don't know how trumpets work. Are there like reeds, or is it just like a?
Mm-hmm.
tube to mouth situation. It's a
Tube
risky
to mouth.
question.
It's got a thing at the back where it comes off, and we sanitized that. I purposely ran sanitizer through the whole damn thing and broke it. Yeah, no, it's just yeah, it's all banged up to all heavens, but you know, not like a bloody server box though. Jesus.
Well,
Wouldn't
to be
mind
fair,
finding
the
one of
RAM in
them.
it, from my understanding, there. Oh, he even said it in chat. Yeah, the RAM is like probably ancient, but like everything else seemed okay. So swapping out the RAM and loading in things and crossing our fingers and hoping it doesn't fucking
Explode.
implode. It should
Mm-hmm.
be fine to run. Um, that's a project for later days. Who knows? Maybe Zombie will
Right.
film it, put it online. Be like, look what I did, a funny thing. But it is what because I saved season 1 stuff to Lancelot. But I have to make sure that it didn't do that bullshit where it thinks you just copied like a link to it, which I hate.
Yep.
Sometimes Windows does stupid shit, and
It's. I think it's like the website actually deliberately trying to prevent you from doing it. To be
it's
honest
like
with
you
you,
can't have a good time. We're gonna have a bad
not allowed.
time.
Unforgivable. Yeah.
Zombie stream when? Maybe tomorrow or Monday. Ugh.
Well, worst
I
case scenario, use OBS.
Hey, you know what?
Just saying.
We don't have a schedule. They just happen. That's fair. I was gonna stream yesterday, and then I promptly disassociated and got ready for D&D. Um,
As you
so,
do.
yeah, as you do. It's fine. Um, but yeah, again, I'm so happy that you got to hang out with us today and had
Yeah,
a
it's been
spooky
fun.
time. I had a spooky time.
You had a
Um,
spooky time?
yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna sleep like a baby bear tonight.
okay.
Not thinking about the
Right.
never ending story of the undying lizard man thing.
Yeah, the end. Yeah. Radical Larry, who can phase through walls and grab you and put him into his little pocket dimension, and he pokes holes in your liver.
Tasty.
Or tasty. Or the weeping angel concrete boy who will snap your neck if you don't look at him. Or
I'm gonna call him
the
Sad
weird-
Jim
Such.
because he's
Or
weeping,
the plague doctor, who will just erase your life by just simply touching you.
and it's not a mask. That's his legitimate nose.
That's just legitimate.
And it's a solid bone nose. At
Don't
that.
judge it.
Sorry, I just gagged a bit. Oh.
You know, there's some gnarly little things out there.
There-
Gotta be careful, you know?
They're definitely. I kind of want to
Imagine if
hang
you
out
were
with the
real.
blob myself because
Yeah. Well,
drugs.
just like so you feel. Well, there is one that will that is essentially super marijuana.
Dum.
Yeah, it's apparently the good stuff.
Oof. So yeah,
yeah, it's so good. I could talk about it all day.
we could
honestly.
do this. Listen. I'm looking at you and the Yoshi outfit.
No, don't.
Priceless.
I can't believe I sent that to you.
And the second you did, I was like, excellent. It's happening. I was hoping you would
It's
send me
already on
this.
there.
Here's the thing. I was gonna ask you for it, but I was like, no, there's no way I could just outright ask for the Yoshi outfit. And then you sent it to me willingly, freely of your own volition. I was like, I have to
Yep.
now.
Yeah,
And
no,
this is
it's
amazing.
the thing I do.
And now I have it forever.
Okay.
Because the internet's forever, and this is the internet. Surprise!
I mean, I was wearing this suit on Twitch. I mean, let's be fair.
To be fair. Oh, I will hydrate, thank
it
you.
happened. Oh yeah, I don't need to. Yeah.
Actual water, not just coffee, before Thrall gets in these comments and yells at me. I've been
I
told
heard
that coffee
sounds.
Those water sounds. This is water, I assure you. I was told that coffee is not water, and coffee is also not bean broth or stew. And I'm remembering that forever until I forget and subsequently say no, it's fine because it's technically a meal.
Oh god.
Combat needs to hydrate as well, as he is a dry bugger.
No. I know what you people are like. I'm not doing it. Always going, oh, hydrate, combat, hydrate, hydrate. I was like, I am dying on the inside because there's more water in my body than blood. Stop it.
I mean, technically, if you think about it.
I mean, yeah, what is it, 90%? 80 or 90% of your body is water?
It's a bunch of percentage,
It's,
but it's kind of like how there's water in food. Is how I'm looking at it. I don't know. I'm not, again, Spooky Saturdays does not condone cannibalism. Cannot stress that enough.
Why are you looking at a zombie like that? Zombie run.
Hydrate, bish, 70%.
I'm not a jellyfish. Right, you're making me Google this. How dare. What percentage of the body is water? 60% apparently. What? I thought it was more than that.
Weird.
That's crazy. What percentage of the body is carbon?
So blood,
What?
average person has between 8 and 13 liters of blood in their body. And if you get to halfway, you die. You do not have to be fully exsanguinated in order to die from blood loss. Fun fact of the day.
Keep your blood in your body where it belongs.
Yes, internal.
Primarily around the heart.
Reminds me of like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that one part where they're like, "Oh, are you okay?" And he's like, "I have internal blood," but I guess that's where it's supposed to be, so it's fine. He meant to say internal bleeding. It was really funny. But yeah. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I had a really fun time, guys. Again, if you're not already following Combat, please do, because you need to for science reasons.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, there's content to be had. Fun
Why the fuck did I just almost type out Combat Dad? Who am? Daddy?
I mean, that's a question we can have. We can have this conversation later. Once we get there.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, again, I'm very excited that we got to hang out. We can, if you want, you're more than welcome to join us for another episode later down the line if you ever are in the spooky area.
I can do.
And you're looking to have a chitty chat. It can be about SCPs or anything else that's spooky in nature. Well, we need that as a sound clip. Combat Daddy.
Oh God.
Daddy?
Please, no. Don't. Do you know what's even worse? It's like you get a collection of people saying it, and then just a random sound every here and there. Someone going, "Combat Daddy."
Combat Daddy.
Ooh.
Ooh woo. Oh man. Well, let's find some. I think we've covered all of the spookiness. Let's find someone to raid.
Yeah, because that doesn't get no more spookier than that. Jesus.
On the note of Combat Daddy, let's find someone to raid. Let's see who is on the internet at this moment. Looks like. Well, actually, did anyone redeem? Has anyone redeemed that yet? No one has? He's just mad as I will use it. Listen, Jaeger, we'll figure it out. Don't you worry. Don't fret, pet. We got you. Nobody... Has anyone redeemed? Let me check chat. Did anyone redeem that? It doesn't look like anyone redeemed that.
Nope.
So... Okay, so on my list, looks like... I've got Bree, Darius, and Ink on. Is there anyone particular that you would prefer us to raid? Or like anyone on your list that you want us to raid? Or I'll bring us to Ink if you don't. Actually, hold on. Elden Ring or Fallout New Vegas? You know what? I think Elden Ring is probably a better idea in my life. And I haven't rated Darius in a minute.
Nah. He doesn't get much. He doesn't.
Let me learn how to copy and paste because I'm an adult.
I don't. I've already. Yeah, actually, it's your turn to deal with this.
Yeah, it's my turn. It's my turn for copying. Okay. Well,
Okay,
internet,
and
it's been a spooky time. I love you all very much. And I'll see you next week. I think I have one next week. I know I will be streaming at some point in my life. Let me actually check the schedule. Next week is the first. Looks like I've got recon on next week. We're to find out how that works out. Um, but combat again. Love you. Very happy we had this chat.
yeah, it's good
Um,
fun. Thank you for having me.
and we'll have a spooky time. We're gonna raid Darius. Has dogs. He's playing Elden Ring right now. Please show Darius some love. And say goodbye, internet. I'm waving. No one can see me. Have fun,
Mm.
guys.